It's the high school football game of the week on 770 WAIS and 103.9 FM. Tonight's game is brought to you by Pidcock Glass, McFadden Insurance, Tinks Auto Trading Post, your local McDonald's, First National Bank, Little Italy Pizza in Nelsonville, Gloucester, and New Straitsville, J&K Contracting, Fred Wolf Automotive, Athens Insurance Services, Athens Automotive Keys, Rutland Bottle Gas, Tri-County Career Center, H&R Block, Holzer Health System, and Coach's Appliance Heating and Air. Let's head out to the stadium for tonight's game on 770 WAIS and 103.9 FM.
Welcome to Week 8 of high school football. I'm Andy Huddleton. Alongside me is Joe Higgins and Lori Saunders, keeping us on the air back at the studio. Joe, it's Week 8 already, and it is homecoming here at Boston Field as the Alexander Spartans come in to town to look for their fourth win of the season. Nelsonville-York, of course, hoping to stay perfect in league play.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough task for the Spartans, but they are coming off a dominant victory last week, 40-0 over River Valley. That's what they needed to do. They needed to go out and take care of business and keep them some momentum to carry into this contest against a Nelsonville-York Buckeye team that's got plenty of momentum on their own right.
Yeah, this is a game that you and I usually have a lot of fun with, and if you've been a long-time listener of ours, you know Joe Higgins is a Buckeye. I'm Andy Huddle, I'm a Spartan, and we typically try to ride down the middle, but in this game we try to play a little bit of favorites, even though it's usually not.
It works out for me. I like it.
It's not usually in my side, but, you know, it's all in good fun, so keep that in mind as you hear us saying us or we. You know, I like to
change the rules a little bit on this one night.
I like to think of myself as an honorary Buckeye, even though no such title exists. And Joe, I'm sure the same thing, but it's a different night tonight here than usual because it's about more than football.
Very well said there, Andy. This is also Suicide Awareness Night for these two teams. They've banded together to do this fundraiser and awareness, and I believe, I'm not sure if it's the gate, some kind of split tonight will be going to each school's programs to bring awareness to suicide. You know, unfortunately in our area, we're not immune to that. We have had it more than our fair share at different times at all different age levels too, so it is nice to see the youth, because I think this was youth-driven, of both schools taking interest in this and trying to take some ownership and putting that out there for everybody to just to have this recognition that people stay.
Yeah, and so there's a lot of purple around. Both teams warmed up with suicide awareness shirts. They're both wearing purple shirts. They're handing out pins that everybody's wearing on their shirt. It's just a really neat thing to do, and the unity of Athens County and the surrounding area, for that matter, never ceases to amaze me. The student section down there has a sign. We'll do our part and say it. It says 899. Call 899 if you're having suicidal thoughts. You can talk it out. You know, it's not worth it. You can. We need you tomorrow. There's help out there. So please, if you're having any thoughts, reach out and get help, because there is help out there. So all that being said, it's a fun atmosphere, and it is homecoming here for Nelsonville-York.
And before the ceremonies, before the start, they had the ceremony for the king and queen, and we've crowned new ones. And so congratulations go out to our new homecoming king at Nelsonville-York and Bryant Call, and the new homecoming queen, Sierra Dexter.
That's right. Much congratulations going out there. It's a weird sentence, but the band is coming out here. We'll have the national anthem momentarily, but I wanted to take a second here to thank you to the Fred Wolf, to welcome you to the Fred Wolf Automotive pregame show here, and we'll go through the rest of our sponsors real quick. H&R Block, McFadden Insurance, J&K Contracting, Athens Insurance Services, which is your halftime sponsor, Athens Automotive Key, McDonald's, First National Bank, Rutland Bottle Gas, Tinks Auto Trading Post, Tri-County Career Center, Little Italy Pizza, Holzer Health System, Coach's Appliance Heating and Cooling, and My Garage Door Company. We appreciate everything you guys do for us.
Real quick, while the band is on the field, letting everybody know that they will be at the Horseshoe tomorrow. They will be at Ohio Stadium, where they're going to play along with others, an invitational.
Oh, wow.
They were one of the few bands to be accepted, the first time they've ever been accepted to go to this. And the Buckeyes will be playing, I think, at 11 o'clock.
Wow, what an honor.
Buckeyes will be playing on the Buckeye field at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, the other band, I'm sure, will be out on the West Coast.
Yes.
But what an honor. I mean,
super cool.
You know, a lot of these band members may not necessarily be sports fans, but I'm sure it's something that they look forward to be able to perform on that field.
And they were able to perform at Ohio University earlier this season with a whole band day that they do, where every piece of that green of the of Eden Stadium was filled with a band member from some area school. It was super cool to see.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, I think, will be a little bit different, where they're actually going to be able to compete out there, or I don't think it's for the competition, but still to be able to play out there on that Invitational. It's very, very cool.
And is this alumni night for the band as well? Because I see some
I do see some out
different
there.
outfits. Let's say that. So we assume that's the case. They're playing the alma mater. They're going to get to the national anthem here. So we're going to take a quick break. We're going to break this matchup down on the other side here on your Game of the Week on 770 AM, 103.9 FM.
In Nelsonville, Fred Wolf Automotive is your local solution to your automotive needs. Whether it's your first car or your last, they are here to help. People always ask, who is Fred Wolf? He was their great-great-grandpa who had a car dealership in Nelsonville in the 1950s. They thought it was fitting to bring his name and some of his entrepreneurial spirit back to life. The inventory is constantly changing, so if they do not have what you are looking for, please give them a call. Local people who love to help local people. Fred Wolf Automotive, located at 1273 Chestnut Street in Nelsonville, 614-309-1756.
Psst. Want to know how to get more for less? I'm talking the most bang for your buck. It's the one and only McDonald's app, slinging deals every day. So start with your choice of any breakfast sandwich, like a delicious crispy chicken biscuit or tasty Egg McMuffin for just $3. Or spend just $1 and get free medium fries. The McDonald's app is out here doing the most, and you're getting more because of it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Offer valid 9/16/24 to 10/6/24. Participating McDonald's. Valid when product served. Valid once a day. Must opt into rewards. Excludes tax.
Pigcock Glass is the largest full-service glass company in the area. They've been serving Southeast Ohio for over 30 years and have over 100 years in combined experience. They do it all: commercial, residential, screen, mirrors, tabletops, and heavy equipment. Have a unique issue? Just let them know. Check them out online at pigcockglass.com or call 740-753-4527 to set up an appointment, or stop in at 500 East Canal Street in Nelsonville. Pigcock Glass.
If you're looking for a quality pre-owned vehicle, come to Tink's Auto Trading Post, located on State Route 13, just off of Route 33 and Columbus Road in Athens. With over 30 years of experience, you can trust that you will get a great deal at a great price. We also offer routine maintenance on your cars, such as brakes, oil changes, and tires. Tink's Auto Trading Post, where less overhead means less markup. Remember to think Tink for your next great car deal. Tink's Auto Trading Post, 740-594-8465, or visit us on the web at tinksautotradingpost.com.
Who can you turn to when you need a general contractor? Choose someone with over 30 years of experience, is licensed and insured. Choose the professionals at J&K Contracting. They're a full-service commercial and residential contractor. From new builds to remodeling, J&K Contracting has you covered from the ground up. Excavating or concrete, roofing or siding, replacement windows or decks, kitchen and bathroom remodels. One call, they really do it all. Call J&K Contracting, 740-698-3521. That's J&K Contracting, 740-698-3521. Rutland Bottled Gas has propane for almost every need: home, farm, industry, greenhouse, lodges, and cabin rentals. They sell and install heaters made by Buck Stove, Empire Comfort Systems, and Heat Star. Ranges by Crosley and grills by Weber. Rutland's specialty is installing and setting up propane systems that make your world more comfortable. 2 offices to serve you. The Plains at 177 North Plains Road and in Rutland at 282 Main Street. Stop by, call, or visit them at rutlandbottlegas.com for more information. Rutland Bottled Gas since 1947. 740-797-4675. The High School Game of the Week on 770 WAIS, 103.9 FM, and WAISAMradio.com.
Welcome back to the Fred Wolf Automotive pregame show here from Boston Field. Homecoming 2024 for the Nelsonville-York Buckeyes. The Alexander Spartans are the visiting team here against the Nelsonville-York Buckeyes. So, again, both teams are coming in here after winning last week. Alexander victorious over River Valley. Nelsonville-York beating... Do you remember? Okay.
They go Wellston? Yeah, Wellston.
Okay, beat Wellston, that's right. Nelsonville-York coming in 5-2 on the season, 3-0 in conference play. Alexander 3-4 on the season, 1-3 in conference play. This is a game that Alexander could really... it could kind of change the season for Alexander. I mean, obviously, playoffs are still sort of in question here, but beating Nelsonville-York for, I think, just the third time, something like that, would change the entire outlook.
I mean, it would, of course, because Alexander's been struggling this year to kind of find that consistency. They come off a win over River Valley, and they're somehow able to pull an upset here at Boston Field. that would give them, I mean, that's a successful season for the Spartans. So if they're able to knock them off tonight, they should be gung-ho to go this, and they've got a heck of a leader on that team that can help them get there in Isaac Waller.
Yeah, Isaac Waller getting some attention as of late. You know, we talked about it on the Wild World of Sports last week about him having one of the biggest hits that you've ever seen.
It was a fun hit, mostly because, too, the young man he hit was able to get right back up. So
yes,
I want to caveat it with that. But, yeah, the tapes have been flying around out there now, the video of this. And you can see the young man, his foot go over his head like a bicycle kick after Waller just sized him up perfectly and took him down. So it was definitely one of the hardest hits. But that was just part of his big night because he had a punt block, he had a fumble recovery, and 4 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, that's a pretty good night. And, you know, last week was homecoming for Alexander, too. So he's trying to prevent what he had, trying to prevent that for Nelsonville-York this year because it is, again, their homecoming. And, you know, as you said, Alexander goes as Isaac Waller goes. You know, Alex Bateman's typically the quarterback out there. Sometimes they'll throw in Carter Jewell as well. Trent Shadd's a great wide receiver. Jake Roush is a phenomenal kicker, one of the better kickers in the area. Some of the other names you're going to hear, Matic Meek, Justin Adams is in there. But the defensive side of things is where it's going to be crucial for Alexander because this Nelsonville-York offense is potent.
It really is. And if I'm them and I'm looking at their in terms of their strategy, I'm going to start with wherever Waller's at. I'm going the other way. If he's on the right, I'm going left. If he's in center, I'm going to drop back to pass and try and keep him right there, and I can go right or left from that way. But I don't want anything to do with Isaac Waller if I'm this offense, and they do have dynamic weapons out there. When you're talking about a developing Cam Sullivan as a sophomore, you're talking about Austin Gauthier on the ground game with Walker Stone stepping up last week, both of them with over 100 yards on the ground. And then that's not even – we haven't talked about Dakota Cunningham, who had 3 rushing touchdowns. I mean, this team is dynamic. It's got offensive ability throughout. You're talking about Alec Thompson out there as the number 1 receiver. Yep. All of this is all true, but they're probably better on defense.
Right. The proverbial thing to say about a football team is a 3-headed monster.
Yeah.
Nelsonville-York's got more than 3 heads,
yeah.
so it's going to be a tough task for this Alexander defense to try and keep them contained as we are about to kick off. Alexander choosing to defer, kicking left to right on your radio dial. Joe, you got a prediction here?
I think it's going to be a lopsided game here for Nelsonville-York. I'm giving them 35-0.
That's bold. All right, well, we'll just get to the action here instead of giving myself one. Jake Roush doing kicking duty for the Alexander Spartans, left to right on your radio dial. Nice kick down the right-hand side. Going to be picked up at the 6-yard line for Nelsonville-York. Tries to bring it across the middle. Is Gauthier. He goes up to the right. That's Inman.
Yep, Inman.
Goes all the way out to the right side of the 20-yard line and taken down around the 25. Alexander in their road uniforms. That's your black helmets, white jerseys, white pants. Nelsonville-York defending their home in their orange top, brown jerseys, brown pants. I could see the difference between the white and the brown here. Last time we were here, we had those camo jerseys, and I struggled a little bit. So Nelsonville-York has the ball 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line. We'll see what they come out in their famed I formation. You know, Inman been working some at quarterback. The last game we called, he had, 3 passing touchdowns, 1 receiving. Sullivan threw for a couple, caught one himself. So Inman is that X factor for Nelsonville-York.
He's out wide left right now with Sullivan in that I formation.
I formation. Cunningham and Gauthier in the backfield. They're going to hand the ball off to Gauthier. Goes up the right side. He's got a breakaway already. One guy trying to catch him. That's Waller across midfield and taken down at the Alexander 32-yard line. Big play for Nelsonville-York as they chunk out 45 very quick yards there, and who other than Isaac Waller to chase him down because he could have just let him score. I formation again. Nelsonville-York getting set quickly. Cunningham got here in the backfield. Cunningham receives the handoff, goes on left side. We have a stoppage in play. False start on Nelsonville-York. You know, Nelsonville-York is not a heavily penalized team, but we've had the pleasure of calling, let's say, 5 games, I believe. Maybe this is the 5th or 6th. And most of the times when they don't score, it's because of penalties.
Yeah, I want to just go back to that play real quick because that was a touchdown if it's not for Waller.
Yeah.
Waller was able to track him down. Not an easy thing to do with Gauthier out there in the open field.
And that's part of what makes Isaac Waller such a gifted kid. Is most kids probably give up on that, but he chased him down. He had no right to catch him. Single back set is Cunningham who received this handoff, goes left to center, picks up just a gain of 3 there for Nelsonville-York. We'll make this about 2nd and 12.
if nothing else, that 43-yard pickup from Gautier does flip the field one way or the other.
Yeah, it absolutely does. Nelsonville-York gets down in this territory. They tend to go for it on fourth downs, but again, it's only second down here, 2nd and 12. They go back in a short single back set once again. Going to quickly throw it out to Inman into the flats. It is complete to 30, 25, cuts to the outside, 20, the 15, the 10, the 5. He tries to cut back in, and he's dragged out of bounds by Isaac Waller, and we've got a flag come in here. Face mask, I believe, is the call. I believe Alex Bateman will probably get the credit there. Waller was there as well. Or that was Trent Shadd, I believe.
It is a face mask, but he was brought out at the 3-yard line, so it's not going to give you much of a difference there.
No, I mean, it's going to be half the distance to the goal.
The Buckeyes were going to line this one up. Looks like they're probably going to come back out in this I formation, which they do favor at the goal line anyway.
Yeah, Cunningham Gautier is in there. They are in there. They look over to the coaching staff to get their play call.
And it looks like Inman's going to go under center for this play.
And you got to remember to keep an eye out for the sleeves. He wears the sleeves.
Well, Sullivan's got sleeves on.
He does, you're right.
Sorry.
No, because that's the only way I could tell the difference against Meg's. Well, as of now, Inman's jersey's bunched up, but Sullivan's isn't. I formation, Inman under center, Cunningham, Gautier in the backfield. Gautier receives the handoff, goes up the middle, and the second effort gets him across, and he's going to score. Touchdown, Buckeyes. Austin Is it Austin? I'm all over the place. Gautier will get a 2-yard touchdown run here for Nelsonville-York. He was initially stuffed at the line of scrimmage, but a second effort will get him across the line for your first touchdown of the night. Logan Meek in the kick here for Nelsonville-York. We await the snap. Who's the holder? It's not.
It's
Nedden.
Levi Snedden.
Okay, that's Nedden. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up. And he splits the upright. 7-0 is your score here from Boston Field. Nelsonville-York over Alexander with 10:41 in the opening quarter. We're going to take a quick break. Alexander's response on the other side here in the Game of the Week on 103.9 FM, 770 AM.
Since 1926, Athens Insurance Services has focused on doing one thing and doing it well, providing peace of mind through affordable, comprehensive insurance protection. Whether you're looking for car insurance for your new teenage driver, home insurance for your first home, protection for your business, or life insurance, they've got you covered. Representing Central Insurance Company, count on Andrew, Mike, Kendra, Hannah, Chelsea, and Brent. Athens Insurance Services at 375 Richland Avenue. Call 740-593-6639.
There's only one perfect food for watching or listening to sports. Pizza! Get ready for the game by calling one of the 3 locations of Little Italy Pizza in Nelsonville, Gloucester, or New Straitsville. Dough made fresh every day with 3 crusts to choose from, with all the toppings a pizza lover craves. Little Italy Pizza also features mouth-watering subs, sandwiches, salads, and appetizers. Open 7 days a week. Gloucester, New Straitsville, and Nelsonville. Locally owned and operated.
The high school game of the week on 770 WAIS, 103.9 FM, and WAISAMradio.com.
Alexander will receive this kickoff left to right on your radio dial. I couldn't tell who brought it up. He fielded about the 20 and got to about the 32-yard line where Alexander will take over for their first possession of the night. Nelsonville-York doing their part, having a big opening play from Gautier for 43 yards, you said?
43 yards was what the pickup was on that. The only stop from a touchdown by Isaac Waller. Then that reception from Inman, or to Inman from Sullivan, set it up inside the 3-yard line after the penalty. Gautier finished it off, 2-yard run.
Alex Bateman comes up pistol set with Isaac Waller in the backfield. He's going to need a big night for Alexander to have a chance. Trips right, takes a snap. QB Reed fakes the handoff, keeps it himself. He's got pressure in the backfield. He gets back to the 31. He somehow only lost 1 yard on that play when he could have lost 4 to 5.
Yeah, 1 yard loss on that, but it was the option play. The read was actually correct. If he gets to the Waller, it's stuffed up the middle. But the Buckeyes did a great job of also pursuing to the outside, which went for the loss. So it's not a wrong decision by the quarterback, just great execution by Nelsonville-York.
Well, I don't think you'd be wrong if you assumed that Nelsonville-York is going to pick tackling Isaac Waller every time there's a QB read. I mean, look, they did what they were supposed to there, and they still got negative yards in that play. So that's something I'm not sure Alexander's going to have a lot of success tonight. 2nd and 11, pistol formation again. They send a man in motion. Bateman takes a snap, hands the ball off to Waller, goes off left side, and he's going to get about 2 yards. So he's going to be inside the original down marker, but it's going to be a long 3rd and 9.
Yeah, you talk about that they're going to pick to tackle Waller. That's not always a fun idea.
No.
But good job there that time. They didn't let him get his feet moving. They got to the point of attack. As soon as he got towards the line of scrimmage without a lot of momentum, the defense was able to get low, stay high as well, and just keep him from going anywhere.
I'm trying to look up, we don't have height and weight on Waller. He's a bigger guy. He's not big by any means, but
strong.
Against that Alexander team, which is traditionally smaller, he looks bigger. But Nelsonville-York has a little bit more size, so he doesn't quite look like the giant that he usually does. 3rd and 9, low snap, picks it up. Waller in the block for him. He's going to throw this. It is completed into the fly. He dropped it as soon as I said it was complete. I think he heard footsteps. That was Carter Jewell on the incomplete pass. Quickly, Alexander looking at a 3 and out.
Yeah, even as Jewell makes that catch, which he is fully capable of, he's got good hands for a young man. Pulled that one in, turning upfield is what he dropped it because he was already looking upfield. But and he should be, because as soon as he caught that ball, if he would have caught it, he'd have been brought down immediately.
Yeah, if he's lucky, he gets 1 to 2 yards out of that.
Yeah, at best.
But nowhere near a first down here.
2 back for Nelsonville-York.
It looks like Alec Thompson is the back guy. I can't see the first one. High snap.
There, I believe.
And it's going to be blocked, and he's going to try to scoop and score at the 10. He can't do it, but he does get the ball. It doesn't matter. Alexander can't recover that one. That was Bean Martin.
Bean Martin gets the block and the recovery.
And
sets up the Buckeyes inside the red zone at the 5.5-yard line.
Look, he's happy right now, but he's going to kick himself later because I'd be surprised. He's a bigger guy. I'd be surprised if he's got a touchdown. So he just missed maybe his only opportunity. Nonetheless, great outcome for Nelsonville-York, but I'm telling you, at the end of the day, he's going to say, man, I wish I could have got that touchdown. But nonetheless, you are happy with the setup you gave your team. 1st and goal from the 5, already ahead 7-0, I formation with Inman in under center. Cunningham got here in the backfield as well. They're going to take the snap, fake a handoff, bootleg to the right, looking to pass. He does throws across the middle, wide open, touchdown, Buckeyes once again. Was that Sullivan?
Yes, it was.
Cam Sullivan with a touchdown reception there. Gets Nelsonville-York their 2nd touchdown on this very young game. I'm telling you, Landon Inman just brings a completely different look to this Nelsonville-York offense. And that's not something bold. Everybody who's seen these games the last 3 weeks can see that, but he really is that X factor that you've called him here. And the kick here for Nelsonville-York is Logan Meek. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up, and it's good. 14-0 here from Boston Field. 8:44 to go in this opening quarter. Buckeyes with a lead over Alexander. We're going to take a quick break here on your Game of the Week on 770 AM, 103.9 FM.
Tax season's greetings from your friends at H&R Block. Whether you choose to file virtually, in person, or via drop-off, let's make it a season worth celebrating. File your way with H&R Block and get upfront, transparent pricing, expert help at every step, and a max refund guarantee that means you'll ring in the season by getting every dollar you deserve. All tax situations are different. Not everyone gets a refund. Limitations apply. See hrblock.com/guarantees.
H&R Block at 507 Richland Avenue in the old Morrison School Building in Athens. 740-589-5403.
Want to know how to get more for less? I'm talking the most bang for your buck. It's the one and only McDonald's app, slinging deals every day. So start with your choice of any breakfast sandwich, like a delicious crispy chicken biscuit or tasty Egg McMuffin for just $3. Or spend just $1 and get free medium fries. The McDonald's app is out here doing the most, and you're getting more because of it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Offer valid 9/16/24 to 10/6/24. Participating McDonald's. Valid when product served. Valid once a day. Must opt into rewards. Excludes tax.
The high school game of the week on 770 WAIS, 103.9 FM, and WAISAMradio.com.
8:44 to go in this opening quarter. Here is, was there a penalty?
I didn't see a flag throw, but they moved it up.
They moved it from the 40 to the 45. I didn't see anything, but whatever, there appears to be a 5-yard penalty against Alexander on the PAT. But it is 14-0 here in Nelsonville-York over Alexander with 8:44 to go. So we're not even 4 minutes into this contest. Alexander with a 3-and-out, tried to punt, got it blocked down to the 5. If you're going to win this game, you can't make it easy on Nelsonville-York.
Yeah, right now that's been exactly what it is, and we'll see what Alexander can respond here, being already in this 2-score hole.
Logan Meek kicking off right to left on your radio dial. Is going to squib it down the middle. Alexander will just let the back guys get it at the 10-yard line. Going to try to bring it up to the right-hand side, and he's taken down as Trent Shad at the 22-yard line.
Coming in later on that play, Katie McWilliams made sure that thing got stopped.
So Alexander has their second possession where they netted just a total of 1 yard after losing 2 on first down, gaining 2 back, or they lost.
Yeah. Lost 1, gained 2, and then ended up getting the incomplete pass. Punted the ball away, except Bean Martin was there to block it. Got down to the 6-yard line where Inman, one play after that, Inman passes to Sullivan for that touchdown, and we're up 14-0.
Alexander comes back, pistol formation, 1st and 10 from their own 22. Waller in behind Bateman. They're going to run a counter play to Ryland Hucks, who goes up the left-hand side and picks up about 3 yards. It looked like he had a little bit more green there.
Yeah, but I like that misdirection play, and I think that's probably your best bet, is to try and get a little tricky here for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, and it's really unfortunate to say that you're almost resorting to that on just your second possession, but I wholeheartedly agree with you, and I think Alexander's going to have to do a lot through the air in this game. That's not a team, or that's not something that they do too well as a team.
There are some weapons on this team, though. You
Absolutely.
Can get it out to Waller, like I said. I don't see him catching a lot of balls out of the backfield, but anytime you get that ball in his hands, that's a good move if you're Alexander. 2nd and 7 shotgun formation. Waller to the left of Bateman is going to throw this quickly out to the flats. It is complete to Shad at the 30-yard line. He's taken out of bounds. Yeah, while Waller is very capable of catching the ball out of the backfield, he's also a phenomenal blocker. So I think that's probably where you're going to see him a lot on these passing plays, because this Nelsonville-York defensive line brings the heat. And I like getting the ball in the hands of Shad there also, and Jewel. They can catch this ball, they can do something with it, and all they really need is a little bit of sliver, because this is now a 3rd and very manageable too.
Yeah, this Nelsonville-York defense is very disciplined. They don't get burnt too often, so the trick plays, the counters are kind of things that you are going to have to look for.
Yep.
But on this 3rd and short, their bread and butter is probably going to be coming out of this pistol set, giving it to Waller, and I think Nelsonville-York's probably going to watch that here.
Option is we do have a penalty of false start on Alexander, which now, this is what I was talking about last week coming into that game with River Valley and Alexander, both teams that were looking for a first win in the TVC Ohio. They couldn't shoot themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
Alexander, for the most part, was able to not do that, especially in the second half. First half was a little bit, both those teams had some turnovers and things like that and little penalties. But here in the second half, or after that in the second half, Alexander did a great job of cleaning it up. This, however, backs him up and makes it a much harder 3rd down now.
Against a lesser opponent, you could probably get away with these penalties, but Nelsonville-York is going to punish you for it. Play action as they fake the handoff. He had a man open on a quick route, and that was Shad, who catches that ball, let's say about the 40-yard line. If he can make one guy miss, and that's Alec Thompson, which is tough to do, he might take that to the house, but nonetheless, it should have been an Alexander first down.
Yeah, exactly. If nothing else, it should have been a first down. And just let him a hair too long, because he did what he's supposed to do. He's in stride, reached out, tried to pull it in just a little too far.
Jerry Rice said if it hits your hands, you should catch it.
That's right.
Being out here trying to get his second block, and it's going to be blocked, but this time by Caleb Layton, who's going to scoop it and score. Touchdown, Buckeyes. Very quickly, we're looking at a 20-0 score here. See, Caleb Layton knows what it's like to see the end zone now. He's going to be looking at Bean and having him a little bit jealous.
He just improved upon the last effort, that's all.
Caleb Layton, those Layton boys are just so much fun, aren't they?
Absolutely. And Caleb Layton got the benefit. That one bounced up to him, and he caught it on the bounce and took it in, where Bean was trying to scoop a little more. So I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. Trying to help him out here.
Alexander's 0 for 2 on punts so far. Is this something that, score aside, but do you just start going for it on 4 downs now?
I mean, how do you, though, from where you're at? So it's the right move to punt, but now you've had 2 in a row blocked.
You haven't even made it to the 35-yard line yet. So Logan Meek going to kick this for the Nelsonville-York Buckeyes. Good snap, good hold. Kick is blocked. No good. Blocked by Nick Jones for Alexander. 20-0 is your score here from Boston Field. 7:39 to go in this opening quarter. Another break here. More first quarter action coming up here on your Game of the Week on 770 AM, 103.9 FM.
Pidcock Glass is the largest full-service glass company in the area. They've been serving Southeast Ohio for over 30 years and have over 100 years in combined experience. They do it all: commercial, residential, screen, mirrors, tabletops, and heavy equipment. Have a unique issue? Just let them know. Check them out online at pigcockglass.com or call 740-753-4527 to set up an appointment or stop in at 500 East Canal Street in Nelsonville. Pigcock Glass.
If you're looking for a quality pre-owned vehicle, come to Tink's Auto Trading Post, located on State Route 13, just off of Route 33 and Columbus Road in Athens. With over 30 years of experience, you can trust that you will get a great deal at a great price. We also offer routine maintenance on your cars, such as brakes, oil changes, and tires. Tink's Auto Trading Post, where less overhead means less markup. Remember to think Tink for your next great car deal. Tink's Auto Trading Post, 740-594-8465, or visit us on the web at tinksautotradingpost.com.
The high school game of the week on 770 WAIS, 103.9 FM, and WAISAMradio.com.
Welcome back to Boston Field here. 20-0 is your score. Nelsonville-York over Alexander with 7:39 to go in this opening quarter. We said in the pregame, well, without saying it so blunt, that it'd be a tough night for Alexander, and it's gotten off to a tough start as they're going to pick this up, and he's just going to fall on it at the 20-yard line. Is Trent Shad, where Alexander will take over. So the first possession, I think they started at the 32. They went 3 and out after gaining just 1 yard. That punt was blocked. Second drive, I think they start at the 22. They go 3 and out. That punt gets blocked. Third drive, they're starting at the 21, where I don't think you tell your punter, just sit down. You're not kicking anymore tonight. But, even if the score is not 20-0, we're in danger of this game getting out of hand. But you're 0 for 2 on punts.
And let's be fair, it's not the punter's fault.
No, absolutely.
The line has gone through both times where it's not like he's sitting back there waiting.
Yeah.
But maybe if you have one of those rushing, what do they call them? The pooch punts?
A rugby kick?
Yeah, rugby punts. You try that because something's got to be better.
Pistol formation, and Bateman throws it over the head of Trent Mash on first down, and we'll go incomplete, which is probably the better of the scenario out of that, because if he catches that, I think he loses maybe 5 yards.
I agree. At least 4 yards for sure.
So it's tough. I mean, look, if you're familiar with the area, you know Nelsonville-York's dominance over Alexander. This is nothing new. I'm pretty certain Alexander's only beaten Nelsonville-York 2 times, at most 3.
Right.
And I don't think that happened until 2013 or something like that. I know they did in 2016. Yeah, I never got to beat them. The closest I got was 26-13. So, you're familiar with this, but it's still early enough in the game that if you get that ball rolling, anything can happen. 2nd and 10, pistol formation. They fake a counter and going to run an option himself as Bateman across the 30-yard line and taken out of bounds, run the 35 to the 36. That's Alexander's first down on the night.
That was a good job there, too. He made the right decision, got a good block on the exterior side of that where the defensive back was trying to cheat down. That let him get that hole right up the middle, get over to the edge, and get out of bounds safely. I like the play.
So they ran last possession. They ran that counter play, and I think Nelsonville-York saw that and probably bid on it a little bit. So I would almost call that a triple read, with the first read or triple option. The first option being that counter. Now maybe he's not even supposed to hand that off at all. Maybe he can.
It's still the motion.
And he had Waller on them, I assume, for a pitch. You're not going to have Waller behind you for no reason there. 1st and 10 at the Nelsonville-York, at their own 36. I'm sorry. They little miscommunication there as he tries to hand the ball off to the wrong side to Waller, but he does turn out about 2 yards on that play as Alex Bateman.
So Waller ended up being behind the quarterback in Bateman there, but still was able somehow to get a lead block.
Yeah. And he's just that guy. You don't know if that was supposed to be a handoff. I assume it's probably a QB read. He went the wrong zone. Yeah.
I'll just say that.
Yeah, I don't know who. Usually it's Joe, but gain of 2 on that. 2nd and 8 here for Alexander at their own 38-yard line. This is the farthest they've been downfield. This is just their 3rd drive. Pistol formation once again. I love this pistol set. Bateman with Waller in the backfield. Waller receives the handoff, tries to get to the outside. He's got a couple guys there. He gets out a nice block on the outside by Carter Jewell. He's going to pick up about 3 yards on that play.
This is what we saw a lot last week against River Valley, is that Waller does a good job of going off tackle and seeing what's there. If it's not there, he'll bust to the outside, get there quick, and then he'll try to out-physical you to the sideline.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you that going east and west against this Nelsonville-York defense is rarely a good idea. But if there's somebody who can do that, it is Isaac Waller. So
the difference here is that last week he was running through defenders all the way to 60-yard touchdowns, and this time the Buckeyes gathered him after 3 yards.
I mean, Nelsonville-York doesn't arm tackle very often. So 3rd and 4 here for Alexander, just shy of midfield at their own 42. Shotgun set. Waller to the left of Bateman, takes the snap, looks right, flush out of the pocket to the lefty. He's going to pump fake. He's wrapped up in the backfield. He's going to lose about 5 yards on that.
I think Dakota Cunningham maybe with that sack.
So that makes things a little bit more difficult. We were looking at a third and 4. You know, if you get even a no gain, you probably go for that. But after losing 5 yards, you're looking at a 4th and 9. They do bring their kicker out here, and it's hard to argue against that, even though I have been. Waller.
They did bring an extra one back to block, though.
Yeah, that's
Waller.
Isaac Waller. And he's coming off that left side where both blocks have come from right now. Roush standing in his own 25. He's going to get this one off, but it's a pretty high kick, not a great kick, and it's going to be fair. He did a fair catch it, I guess. At the 42.
Colton Bookman took a risk there.
Yeah, I mean, he looked like he was lining it up, but, Alexander just standing there. Typically, you're going to see a fair catch out of that, but maybe that was a bit of a trickery on his own.
So good job by Waller picking up that block before the punt was gone. Right there, ready for it was Caleb Layton once again. He's got size, and he reached out that ball, and he didn't miss it by that much, even with the extra blocker.
The scary thing for Alexander is Nelsonville-York's not sending a ton of pressure. They're just sending 5 to 6 guys. They're still setting up a kick return there.
And we've seen the same pressure on their defense where they're using just 3 down linemen.
Yeah. And so, unfortunately for Alexander, he did have to rush that kick a little bit. He kicked it up higher because he's a very phenomenal kicker.
Yeah.
Very phenomenal. We'll work with it. But he just had to rush that one. He's got 2 blocks, so you understand it. But Nelsonville-York does have it. 1st and 10 at their own 43. Shotgun formation. Is that Inman?
That is Inman.
And he's going to hand the ball off on a reverse here. Gautier is going to get it to Sullivan. He's going to keep it himself. Now he's going to throw it out to the left-hand side to Alec Thompson. Across midfield, the 40, 35, 30, the 25. Couple guys there. He tries to lower his shoulder. I think he's staying in bounds. Wow. But he does go down at the 7-yard line.
And I want to credit Walker Stone there because he was in that same area for the completion. There's a flag on us. It looks like all this is going to come back. It is. Walker Stone was right there, though, to help spring that. He was one of the intended targets, but he was able to come back and set the block, which really let Thompson get out there and pick up what would have been a 30, 40-yard gain after that block.
Yeah, so, that's probably, with these tricky plays, reverses and stuff, you typically get some holdings out there because, look, as a former lineman, if you look at a line, almost every play an offensive lineman is going to grab a jersey, which is legal. Right. That is not a flag. It's when a player tries to go the opposite direction and you don't let go. And obviously if you run a reverse, the defense is going to go the opposite direction. So that's why you see a lot of holding calls on that. That's probably what we saw on that play.
What I was going to add to that was, you talk about everybody kind of being out of position. Walker Stone could have potentially done a block in the back there, but he recognized the situation, got his body in front, and made a clean block.
Yeah, absolutely. So 10-yard penalty there will push him back. 1st and 15 at the 38. Going to hand the ball off to Gautier, who's across midfield once again before he's tripped up at the Alexander 48-yard line. So he nearly picked up the first down there. I think he got 13 of the 15 back. I would call that 14-yard gain.
Yeah, good run once again. And just great job by that strong, big offensive line for the Buckeyes.
The officials over there, I think they're measuring for the first down. So they go and give him that first down. So that's a gain of 15 for Austin Gautier. Move the chains here at the Alexander 47-yard line. 4 minutes and 13 seconds left in this opening quarter. It's already 20-0. Nelsonville-York looking to add to that lead on this drive. Single back set is Dakota Cunningham. Sullivan under center is going to hand the ball off inside the 40-yard line, dragging a couple Spartans with him down at the 36-yard line is Dakota Cunningham.
Gautier on that one. Gautier pulled that up, pulled the football up, Andy. Usually you kind of pull it into your chin. He pulled it actually up because he had guys stripping at it at his waist. So he kind of went almost like a deke move, bring it up over top, then pulled it in tight and was able to get more than the 10 yards.
A little Euro step, if you will.
Yeah.
1st and 10 at the Alexander 35. Cunningham this time out of the single back set gets to about the 30-yard line for... Let's see where the official spot is. They're calling it just inside the 30, so we'll call it 5.5.
Buckeyes are running hard, getting good blocks from the offensive line and then running hard.
So hear whistles. I don't see any officials stop. Oh, it was an equipment issue for Alexander's Trent Mash, who's going to have to come out and...
These Spartan uniforms almost have like a silver tinge to them, don't
yeah,
they?
there's a shimmer, if you will, for lack of better term. I believe that's Max Leppert in there for Alexander. in replacement. Single back set, Cunningham in the backfield as they move Walker Stone out to the left. Sullivan under center, fakes the handoff, looking to pass. There's it off the left-hand side. Thompson with the catch at the 10, and he is hit hard. But he does hold on to that ball. Trent Shad knocked him down quickly there.
Good adjustment by Thompson because that ball was floated a little bit. He knew he was going to take a hit. So you could see him look back to the ball, check the defender, then look the ball into his hands and brace.
Just like that, it is first and goal for the Nelsonville-York Buckeyes.
Cunningham.
Just a plethora of options there, if I could steal your word here. Single back set, Cunningham in behind Sullivan, who received the handoff. He's hit in the backfield by Waller, who's on his knees. So he's going to get no gain on that. Maybe even lost a yard. No, they're going to call a loss of 2 on that, back to the 10-yard line. Waller breaks through, and he's standing on his knees. Wasn't it? Was it Waller? Oh, it was Jones, I guess. He's on his knees, and I thought Cunningham was going to just break off of that. Well, he's still on his knees. He just grabs him and brings him down.
You're right. Cunningham bounced off the first. He went to the right. There was nothing there, so he came back because he didn't see the tackler because he was on his knees.
Yeah.
And he just wrapped him up when he came in. Just a little trap action.
They do move this up to the 9 here, so we'll be just a loss of 1 there for Cunningham. I formation. Cunningham at fullback. Gauthier in at halfback. Sullivan takes snap. Hands ball. Gauthier is hit by Waller at the line about a few yards up there, and he's going to get to the 5 for a gain of 4. Third and goal from the just outside the 5-yard line for Nelsonville-York as we approach the end of the first quarter.
That was a nice job by Waller because he almost baited the open hole.
Yeah.
He saw what was going to open there, and he said, okay, you go there because I'm going to come meet you.
And nobody's going to back down from a tackle on either side of this ball, and Waller's definitely not going to. Third and goal here, in which you assume to be 4-down territory for Nelsonville-York. Single back set, Cunningham, Gauthier in the backfield. Sullivan's going to pitch it out to the left-hand side. Cunningham picks up the block. Gauthier is going to be tackled at the 4-yard line, I believe. I thought he was going to score there, Joe. And I'm trying to see that's 58 for Alexander. That's Trevor Sweeney, the senior, forces a 4th and goal from just inside the 5. So he might have lost that half yard on that play.
That was a great defensive stop there for the Spartans. They saw the pitch. They reacted appropriately, and they tackled surely.
Yeah, and Cunningham did a great job there as a lead blocker. He didn't have to, I couldn't tell who it was, but he just had to kick him out, and he did. 4th and goal, Sullivan in the throw here. There. He's going to try to keep it himself. He's pressuring the backfield. He's looking in the back of the end zone. Thompson, touchdown, Buckeyes. Cam Sullivan just dumped that over, I think, 3 Alexander defenders. And, Alexander just needs to get their hands on it. That's 4th and goal. They don't have to intercept it. They just need to knock it down. And Sullivan could not have thrown a better ball. And who are you going to throw it to? But Alec Thompson, the 6-foot junior, who's going to go up every time and almost catch the ball every time.
Yeah, it was a really nice job of going up and securing that because it was a jump ball play, but like you said, lofted up over the defenders. And it looks like
Cam Sullivan's out here to kick this instead of Logan Meek for whatever reason.
Meek's actually
he's down here. He's talking to the coaches.
Yep.
They did get the last one blocked, so look for some sort of maybe trickery, but they do kick it. Good snap, good hold, and it is no good. 26-0 is your score. Nelsonville-York extends their lead. 37 seconds left in this first quarter. We're going to take a quick break here in your Game of the Week on 770 AM, 103.9 FM.
What's one of the worst feelings you can get? The one that hits you in the pit of your stomach. You can't find your keys. I have a solution. Announcing the new location of Athens Automotive Keys at 528 Richland Avenue in Athens. Dan and Gloria can take care of lost keys, transponder keys and programming, key duplication for house or business, and they now provide locksmith service. Athens Automotive Keys is open Monday through Friday, noon till 5:30 at 528 Richland Avenue, Athens. Call 740-590-6843. Who can you turn to when you need a general contractor? Choose someone with over 30 years of experience, is licensed and insured. Choose the professionals at J&K Contracting. They're a full-service commercial and residential contractor. From new builds to remodeling, J&K Contracting has you covered from the ground up. Excavating or concrete, roofing or siding, replacement windows or decks, kitchen and bathroom remodels. One call, they really do it all. Call J&K Contracting, 740-698-3521. That's J&K Contracting, 740-698-3521. The High School Game of the Week on 770 WAIS, 103.9 FM, and WAISAMradio.com.
Squid kick down the left-hand side. Alexander's Rylan Hux will pick this up at the 30-yard line, and he gets about the 38 for, hands down, the best starting field position for Alexander. At the time, I'm thinking, let that go out of bounds. That's more than likely going out of bounds. But they would have just got it to 35, so got an extra, they're going to call it at the 37, so an extra 2 yards. Tough, that's a short stop there, if you will. Quick little, it is baseball postseason. He could probably play shortstop out there, right?
Go. I think the Buckeyes trying some different things. Every kick on the kickoffs have been a different type of kickoff as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's live action. Go out there, and, the PAT was Cam Sullivan instead of Logan Meeks, so.
But the kickoff was still Meeks.
Yeah, so it's not an injury issue. We saw him walking up and down. He was still out there. 1st and 10, Alexander at their own 37-yard line, 32 ticks left. They're going to run that counter to the left-hand side. He's hit in the backfield. He manages to get away and picks up some positive yard as Trent Mash. They're going to give him about 6. Well, they're still walking. About 7, I think, on that first down. Let's see if Alexander gets another play after they do not have to run it after that Trent Mash gain of 7 on first down.
That was another almost play for Bean Martin because he was the one who got a hand on him, but he was able to shed it, get through. Bean's like, I just got to get this finished off here. I got a block, but I didn't get the touchdown. I almost got the sack there or the tackle for loss.
But that is the end of the first quarter here from Boston Field. Nelsonville-York with a commanding 26-0 lead over the Alexander Spartans. Alexander's possession. When we return here in the second quarter in your game of the week on 770 AM, 103.9 FM.
That man. Call the man. Call the man. Just call the man. Just call the man. You better call that man. Call the man. We'll call the man. Call the man. Why didn't you call the man? I should have called the man like you said.
Call Coach's Appliance Heating and Air to take care of your appliances along with your heating and cooling needs. Call or text Nick today at 740-594-1865. That's 740-594-1865. A family-owned business since 1986. Coach's Appliance Heating and Air.
There's only one perfect food for watching or listening to sports. Pizza! Get ready for the game by calling one of the 3 locations of Little Italy Pizza in Nelsonville, Gloucester, or New Straitsville. Dough made fresh every day with 3 crusts to choose from, with all the toppings a pizza lover craves. Little Italy Pizza also features mouth-watering subs, sandwiches, salads, and appetizers. Open 7 days a week. Gloucester, New Straitsville, and Nelsonville. Locally owned and operated.
The high school game of the week on 770 WAIS, 103.9 FM, and WAISAMradio.com.
Trent Scheid will catch the 2nd and 3 here for Alexander. If they flip the field, he's going to lose about 2 yards on that play.
Landon Inman gets the tackle on that. It's just slow developing, which really let the Buckeyes come over. It's that hard thing. You've talked about it before on broadcast. When you're on the right hash, passing all the way to the left sideline, that's what that was.
Yeah, it's a longer throw than people realize. That's probably a 25-yard throw from hash to hash over there. They come out here 3rd and 6 here. Alexander's done a good job of getting ahead of the sticks, but when second down hits, they get back behind it. Now we're looking at a 3rd and 6 shotgun set. Waller in the block here for Bateman, rolling around to the right-hand side. Nobody's open. He's just going to try to keep it himself. He's got a host of Buckeyes ahead of him as he takes the hit. He is going to pick up about 2 yards there, but that's going to bring up about 3rd and a long 4.
Noah Logie pushes him out of bounds, which is going to bring up, as you said,
4th.
Another 4th, a long 4th here, and we'll see what the Spartans do. It does look like they're going to bring out the kicking unit once more.
And this might be a situation we've seen Nelsonville-York, who's not bringing a ton of pressure on this 4th down to block it. Again, they're not sending everybody. They got 2 returners back. Well, one's back to block. They're only sending 5 to 6 guys, but those 5 to 6 guys are essentially selling out. So at what point do you try to fake it or something? Again, it's not a full-on block, and they send less pressure that time as they do get the kickoff. Hits at the 32, bounces straight up. Nelsonville-York decides not to get that as Alec Thompson. And
thought about it.
Look, it took a small Alexander roll down to the 30-yard line, but Joe, these athletes want the ball. I think if a guy like Alec Thompson, you tell him, if you want that ball, go get it.
I think he was going to do it until he saw the good coverage, the punt coverage from the special teams unit of the Spartans. They were able to close within a couple yards. If they had been maybe 2 yards behind that, he probably tries it.
Yeah, and again, he's a guy you trust. He's not a guy who commits a lot of turnovers. But
that's why you trust him, because he made a good decision.
Absolutely. 1st and 10, Nelsonville-York at their own 30-yard line. Split back set for Sullivan, who will hand the ball off to Gautier off the left-hand side. cuts back inside at the line of scrimmage. He's taken down. And, we're seeing these Nelsonville-York backs. What I think my initial gut is that, man, he's got a lot of room. But then Alexander gets one guy to come through, and they're getting good tackles.
And it's that one guy, his 42, Isaac Waller.
Yeah, not just one guy, it's the one guy. But nonetheless,
Hux was in on that tackle as well.
No gain on that, maybe a half yard or a quarter of a yard. I don't know what you want to call it, how many inches that is. I don't know.
2 centimeters.
Sullivan shotgun set. Cunningham to his right with Gautier, and then he's going to fake that pitch, rolling out to the right-hand side. Almost intercepted by Alex Bateman himself, who just jumped the route. Pass was intended for Meek, and it was the right throw. It was a good throw, but it was just a bead that Alex Bateman had on it, and he nearly picked that off.
Yeah, you might ask for it to be fired in there a little faster,
Yeah.
only because Bateman is a very good quarterback. Had a very good game last week against River Valley. He had one interception at the end of the game. I think he had another one that went in and out of his hands, a number of pass deflections as well. He's a ball hawk out there.
You trust a guy who knows the reads because he makes the reads for the offensive side. Big third down here to see if Alexander can get Nelsonville-York off the field. 3rd and 10. Sullivan takes the snap, looking to pass, rolls out to the right, almost the same play. Thompson receives it at the 35, tries to cut back to the 40, and he's got enough for the first down. Inman in the block for him, a couple Spartans at his legs, and he does go down across midfield. Now, that's got to be absolutely heartbreaking for Alexander because it should have been a gain of 5 to 6. Instead, he breaks it out for, 20?
Yeah, it was a good job by Thompson, who we got to keep an eye on this. He's limping a little bit.
Yeah, he had, I think, 3 Alexander players at his leg. A tall guy like that's kind of scary to have these guys there when you get hit. You have guys at your feet. So Sullivan comes out shotgun set with Cunningham to his left. 1st and 10, Nelsonville-York at the Alexander 46. Takes a snap, looking to pass third across the middle. He's got a man downfield. He overthrows everybody. Trent Shad was the closest, and that's the safety for Alexander. And that was about 5 yards over his head. But that's a good, nobody's open. Let me get rid of this. He threw it toward Inman. But, you could argue that he just threw that away.
Yeah, it might have been. I think he may have been trying to give it a shot. But, again, good defense back there. Might as well just toss it and not take a chance.
2nd and 10 here for Nelsonville-York. Gautier in the backfield with Cunningham. Sullivan under center. Meek and Inman far left. Thompson lined up in the slot right. He might move up to tight end. And he does. Alexander in a 5-3 defense, showing pressure off that corner. Fake handoff, bootleg left, and he's going to throw it to Gautier in the backfield in a sort of screen. He's got one guy to beat. He does. Gets inside the 30-yard line, and he goes out of bounds around the 28 or so. We'll see where the official spot is. Right now at the 32-yard line.
Just so quick there. That whole play was quick. You talked about it being a screen. It was a busted screen because there were no blockers over there. So they toss it out to him. He catches it. Quickly shifts the hips, gets out to the left, and then he was down that sideline so very fast to get that first down for the Buckeyes.
Just the diversity of this Nelsonville-York offense. You never know what they're going to do, who they're going to go to. They keep it fresh. They keep you guessing.
In fact, Inman is the quarterback here, and you've got Sullivan at tight end.
And Cunningham in the backfield. They're going to run a triple option. Pitch it up to Thompson in the inside on a shovel pass. He gets inside the 20. He's still running at the 15-yard line. He's on the outside, and he's going to fight for the end zone. He doesn't make it.
Waller there again to stop him.
Yeah.
2 yards short.
I'll tell you this much. I thought he was going to find that end zone, but nonetheless, Waller there awkwardly pulls him down. I think a lot of folks over here wanted a face mask or something. They're on the other side from us. We couldn't tell. It was awkward.
Got him by the shoulder and tossed him. But, man, again, another play. Thompson had no right to get that kind of big pickup. It was right in the middle of the field, was able to break several tackles and finally get up and around to that edge where he had another blocker set up, and now the Buckeyes right in scoring position once again.
Yeah, I do believe that it's technically a triple option because he could pitch that inside, he could pitch that outside, but that does go down as a passing play for the record. 1st and goal from the 2. Cunningham and Gautier in the backfield, who will receive the handoff up the right side. Touchdown, Buckeyes. 2-yard gain by Austin Gautier puts the Buckeyes on the board once again. Cam Sullivan throwing his shoe off the sideline, getting a new one in here. So safe to say he's going to try to kick this once again. It's just not something. I thought maybe he was putting his shoe back on, like he lost his shoe in the play or something. But now I just see him underhand it to the coach to see the coach throw one back at him. So you kind of wonder if this is something that they're not looking for postseason. If you can make him a kicker. When your quarterback's your kicker, he can do a lot of stuff on a fake if you need to. So,
and Levi Snedden, who is a holder,
Good
Gets that
snap.
one down.
Good hold. The kick is up, and it's good this time. 33-0. Here's your score from Boston Field. 9:03 left in the
Just
second
finishing
quarter.
the points. Nedden is the JV quarterback.
Oh, there you go. Even better. So 9 minutes and 3 seconds left until halftime. Buckeyes with a commanding 33-point lead. Quick break here in your game of the week on 770 AM, 103.9 FM.
Our area is a great place to live. It's a great place to raise a family. One of our basic purposes is to serve the financial needs of this area. The money we lend is used to send kids to college, finance new businesses which create new jobs, and much, much more. We're an equal housing lender. First National Bank. Together we grow. Member FDIC. Online at first-national.com.
Rutland Bottled Gas has propane for almost every need. Home, farm, industry, greenhouse, lodges, and cabin rentals. They sell and install heaters made by Buck Stove, Empire Comfort Systems, and Heat Star. Ranges by Crosley and grills by Weber. Rutland's specialty is installing and setting up propane systems that make your world more comfortable. 2 offices to serve you. The Plains at 177 North Plains Road and in Rutland at 282 Main Street. Stop by, call, or visit them at rutlandbottlegas.com for more information. Rutland Bottled Gas since 1947. 740-797-4675. The high school game of the week on 770 WAIS, 103.9 FM, and WAISAMradio.com.
Alexander will receive this kickoff and get to about the official spot, Joe? The 36? Maybe
37 looks like.
Yeah, between the two, I believe. First and 10, trailing Nelsonville-York 33-0. You know, we're almost getting to that situation that we talk about often, that maybe this game's out of hand. I'm not saying it is right now, but if it is, what can you work on going forward?
Well, the thing is with Alexander, you just need to get some kind of consistency that whatever play call you call actually works. Doesn't have to get the first down, doesn't have to get a touchdown. It just has to work. That execution can help your confidence.
They fake a handoff, and they're going to air this out to the left-hand side. It's a duck throw, underthrown. It's going to be intercepted by Nelsonville-York's Colton Bookman. And he might have had a big return, but I think he got tripped up by his own player. Hodson
got the tackle.
You know, Hodson tried to, I think, stop and try to come back forward. He's laying down, hoping to get an interception. Then he just came out of nowhere. It was Bookman for the interception. He tripped his own guy up, but nonetheless, Nelsonville does have it right at midfield. Well, Joe, your pregame prediction was 35-0.
Just need a safety, and then we're good.
We're 33-0 right now. I don't know what you're thinking will happen in the second half. But
I meant the first half. That's what I meant. 35-0.
Well, I probably worded it wrong, right? First and 10, Nelsonville-York right at midfield. They move Cunningham over to the left in a split back set. A shotgun. Got here to the right. Cunningham to the left. 2 wideouts left. 1 wideout right is Meek. Hand the ball off to Gautier, who goes off A-gap left side. Waller meets him in the hole, and along with another Spartan. And he's going to
saw Hux in there. Third Spartan helped out as well.
And get a gain of about 3 there for Austin Gautier. As Walker Stone comes out on this play, spelling Gautier. You ever think so hard about what word you're trying to say you forget someone's name, Joe? That just happened to me. That was that awkward silence that I do oh so well. Stone to the right, Cunningham to the left, Sullivan in the middle. Meek wide out right. And hand the ball off to Cunningham off the left side. He's dragging. Is that Isaac Waller?
That was Trent Mash, I think. No,
it was Waller. Isaac Waller. He drug him about...
That's not easy to do.
He drug him about 3 yards there where he does pick that up, but you know, Waller, for his part, slowed him down just enough to not pick up the first down, if not more. It's going to bring up 3rd and about 2 for Nelsonville-York.
Buckeyes going to stay in that I formation with Sullivan going under center. Meek out to the right. I think that's Stone out to the left.
No, Walker Stone is your halfback here, who will receive this handoff. Goes off right side, cuts up. He's tripped up, and he's going to be right at... No, I think he's got the first down, actually.
He's tripped. Yard past it.
He was tripped up quick enough that I thought it might have been a little bit short, but he did get the first down. Good effort there by Walker Stone. Does move the chains again for Nelsonville-York, who's not seen they saw 1 4th down. Never mind. One of the touchdowns in the back of the end zone was 4th and goal. Offense really doing whatever it wants in this first half, as we got about 6:20 to go until halftime. 33-0, Nelsonville-York ahead of Alexander. Stone is still in there. Sullivan under center. Halfback is Stone, Cunningham at fullback who received this handoff. He's hit at the line of scrimmage. I'm going to guess that's Waller, the way he just stood him up.
He was in on the tackle. No surprise. Also, 72 Nick Jones, who we called him a lot too.
Yeah, he's a junior for Alexander. He's coming off the play here. We call his name, and he leaves. But, you don't have to go anywhere, guy. He seems like a promising young man for Alexander. 2nd and 8 after that gain of 2. Down to the Alexander 37-yard line. Nelsonville-York, of course, in no real hurry. Sullivan brings the play in. Cunningham in the backfield at fullback, who was getting his shoulder pad fixed by his buddy Walker Stone, saying, hey, if you want me to block for you, fix my shoulder pad. Sullivan takes the snap, hands the ball off to Stone, goes off left side, cuts back up into the B gap, tripped up, and taken down. The interesting thing about that is that's the weak side run for Nelsonville-York. They have not only an overload right, you also have, Joe, one of my favorite guys out there, Will Odenthal on the right side. I'm running behind him every time. Now, obviously running to the weak side is a strategy thing. It's not that we think the right side can't get it, but we know you're expecting us on the right side, so we're going to run it to the left. That's that chess match that we talk about all the time.
And I'll say this, at that right linebacker, middle linebacker, right side is Waller.
Yeah.
So that may be why they went left.
Gain of 3 there makes this 3rd and 5. They're going to hand the ball off to Walker Stone out of the backfield I formation. Inside the 30, tries to cut back at the 25 and does. Take it down about the 22-yard line.
He was able to slip out of Waller's grasp there.
It's another first down here for Nelsonville-York. They're churning not just yardage, but the time. 4:30 to go until halftime here. Still 33-0. Nelsonville-York looking to add to that lead. Cunningham still out there. Walker Stone is as well.
Walker Stone, just a sophomore also, so he's going to be doing this for quite a while for the Buckeyes.
We've been calling his name for so long, or so many times, it feels like he should be a fifth-year senior at this point, and he's going to have a tremendous career. He's just kind of waiting his time, and he had a big week last week. When the Austin Gauthiers and Cody Cunningham's move on, it's his backfield. And, there's going to be guys next in line after him, too. Cunningham into block 4. Stone goes off the A-gap left side. He's hit, I believe, by Jones once again for little to no gain.
That's probably our fault. Anytime we talk up too much of one player, they're going to get brought down for a loss.
That might have been Big Nate Graves, actually.
Right.
Jones is not in there right now.
Yeah, he's over on the right
sideline.
Both of them in there.
That was Nate Graves, number 75, junior for Alexander. Another... Look, he's a meaty guy. We don't have the heights and weights on here, but he's a big guy.
He's pretty tall, though. I think he plays center for the basketball team also.
You're going to see him a lot this winter. 2nd and 10 from the 23, just outside the red zone. Fake handoff to nobody. Looking to pass is Sullivan.
A lot of room on that left.
He's going to throw this out to the right-hand side into the end zone. Touchdown, Buckeyes. Was the Landon Inman.
Landon Inman did a good job of field awareness, I guess, there, because he was back there on that line. I thought he might have stepped over it, but the officials were right there. They said that was clean. He got the catch. He got a touchdown.
Yeah, from my angle, it looked like he was in. You only need the 1 foot, and he did have it. He's not the guy you want to lose. Not that there is one from Nelsonville-York, but you can't lose Inman. Again, he's that big X factor here. Sullivan in a kick once again. We have a running clock right now. Did we discover that there's a running clock rule for the first half? I didn't think there was, unless both sides agree. But the clock is still running. The kick is up. Sullivan splits the upright. 40-0 is your score here with 2.5 to go until halftime here from Boston Field. We're going to take a quick break here into Game of the Week on 770 AM, 103.9 FM.
Tax season's greetings from your friends at H&R Block. Whether you choose to file virtually, in person, or via drop-off, let's make it a season worth celebrating. File your way with H&R Block and get upfront, transparent pricing, expert help at every step, and a max refund guarantee that means you'll ring in the season by getting every dollar you deserve. All tax situations are different. Not everyone gets a refund. Limitations apply. See hrblock.com/guarantees.
H&R Block at 507 Richland Avenue in the old Morrison School Building in Athens. 740-589-5403.
Football season is here. Keep your athletes at their best with Holzer in Athens. Dr. Jason Cox Orthopedics and Dr. Aaron Ramsey Chiropractic Care are currently accepting new patients. From follow-up care to injury repair, our healthcare team at Holzer Athens will keep your athlete in the game. Call 855-446-5937 to schedule your appointment today. That's 855-446-5937.
The high school game of the week on 770 WAIS, 103.9 FM, and WAISAMradio.com.
Nelsonville-York will kick this off down to the Alexander 15-yard line, as I believe that was Mash on the return for Alexander. Gets to about the 35-yard line, where Alexander will have it trailing 40-0 with about 2 minutes ago. And we notice we do have a running clock. The running clock doesn't kick in until the second half. Now, we have had some games to where if both coaching staffs agree to a running clock, they'll just let the clock roll. Obviously, mostly safety is top priority in this game. And when you look on the sidelines, Alexander has, 8, 9, 10 guys on the bench? Yeah. They're not a deep team. Nelsonville-York has a bunch of guys. So you kind of put all these rivalries away for the safety of the kids as Waller's going to receive this handoff, tries to bounce it out to the left-hand side. Remember earlier when I said that east and west doesn't work too well? That's the only option Waller had on that play, and he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, but nothing else.
Holden Hodgson did a smart tackle, went down to the ankles and just held on right there to trip him up.
Yeah, I mean, what makes Waller so well, and you alluded to it earlier, is the way he just chops his feet. Yeah. If you're a halfback, the first thing you need to be doing is, you're chopping your feet constantly. That's the only way you're going to keep moving forward. So wrapping his feet up, making sure he can't do that. Does well. Will be no gain, 2nd and 10 with 60 seconds left until halftime. That is the Athens Insurance Services halftime show, to where we're going to have some scores. We're going to have a recap here. We're not doing stats, but we're going to have a first half recap. As Bateman's going to pitch us out to Waller on the right-hand side. He got a couple guys in pursuit. See if he can get to the edge. And he does. Nice pickup by Carter Joel on the outside. And he gets to about the 43, maybe the 44. We'll see where the official spot is.
Pushed out of bounds finally by Caleb Layton. A number of Buckeyes in pursuit were able to force him towards that sideline. Layton just kept it going, and he'll get credit for that. 30
seconds left here, and again, the clock is still moving. Probably the final play. Well, they don't technically have to run a play here.
I don't think they're going to. They don't look to be in any rush to get back to the line.
And they do get a play in here. 15 seconds left. Shad comes out to Bateman with a play. 10 seconds left. They break the huddle, so they got time here if they want. Maybe they're just trying to get Waller some stats, right? 5 seconds on the play clock. 4, 3, pistol formation. Hand the ball out to Waller, who's hit at the line of scrimmage. He tries to bounce it out to the left-hand side. 45, 50-yard line. Legs are taken out to Nelsonville-York 47. So how about that, Joe? The last play of the half, you finally get into positive territory. But that is your score here at halftime. 40-0 at Boston Field. Nelsonville-York ahead of Alexander. We're going to take a quick break here. We've got some halftime. The Athens Insurance Services halftime show coming up here on the other side of the break on your Game of the Week on 770 AM, 103.9 FM.
Discover your future at Tri-County Career Center, where students earn industry-recognized credentials in fields like nursing, HVAC, networking, and welding. Dive into a learning experience that equips you with the job-focused skills needed to succeed in the workforce, the military, or college. Whether you're eyeing our 2-year programs or adult courses, you too can boost your earning potential. Take the first step today. Call 800-637-6508 or visit us at tricountyhightech.com. Tri-County proudly supports all student athletes.
What's one of the worst feelings you can get? The one that hits you in the pit of your stomach. You can't find your keys. I have a solution. Announcing the new location of Athens Automotive Keys at 528 Richland Avenue in Athens. Dan and Gloria can take care of lost keys, transponder keys and programming, key duplication for house or business, and they now provide locksmith service. Athens Automotive Keys is open Monday through Friday, noon till 5:30 at 528 Richland Avenue, Athens. Call 740-590-6843. The high school game of the week on 770 WAIS, 103.9 FM, and WAISAMradio.com.
Welcome to, not back, your first time here at halftime, the Athens Insurance Services halftime show here at Boston Field. The score is 40-0. Nelsonville-York with a commanding lead over the Alexander Spartans, and we had the pleasure of seeing the marching Spartans put on a show in front of us, and putting on a show is something the Nelsonville-York offense did. Well, Nelsonville-York defense did as well. The entire Nelsonville-York team did.
Pretty much, but don't want to drift past that point. The Alexander Spartan Band does a wonderful job this year, and as they have in years past, but I've been able to hear them a few times now, and, man, they really bring it every time out.
Yeah, I've said it before. When I was in school, the band probably had a dozen people, and that 3 or 4 of them were kids who were in probably 6th, 7th, or 8th grade. So they've done a great job. And, Tom Williams has been, I think, pivotal as far as I know.
And part of the boosters.
Yeah, he's been pivotal, if I can say it right.
I struggle with that one too.
And improving this band, and the numbers are out there. You want to do a quick count, you can, but we're looking at, 40 to 50 kids?
Yeah,
not more.
and like I said, just put on a really good show. I get a chance to listen to them here, and maybe you can pick up a little bit on our mics as we're on too. So.
Yeah, and likewise, on the other side of it, the Nelsonville-York, I don't remember their band much when I played, and that's probably because they didn't have much of a presence at the time. But that's certainly changed.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's true about the entire area. You
Sure.
know, in terms of more kids participating in the arts, more kids participating in music specifically, and we're getting to see it more in marching band, concert band. I love that we're getting kids involved and different ways of getting involved, not just in the athletics.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not going to sit here and try to BS you with all this stuff that I don't know about band, because I don't. I know that they're out there.
It sounds good.
I know they're out there each and every day. They're working just as hard as every other athlete that we have the privilege of calling. We don't have names for these young men and women out there, but they deserve the credit as well. But as far as deserving credit, Nelsonville-York as a whole, the offense was clicking on all cylinders. The defense held Alexander to, I believe, just 1 or 2 first downs.
Yeah, so the Buckeyes come out and they get on the scoreboard there after a big pickup from Gautier, 43 yards, and an Inman reception, put them down inside of the 3-yard line down near the 2, where Gautier finished that off. So 10:41 left in the first quarter, so early on they get their first score. I believe it was on the next defensive set they forced a punt for Alexander, where Bean Martin blocked that one. One play later, Inman catches a pass or throws a pass to Sullivan from 6 yards out to make this 14-0, 8:44 to go in the first quarter. I think it's, again, the next play, the next offensive series for the Spartans. Caleb Layton gets a block punt.
Yeah.
He's able to scoop it, though, and he'll have some bragging rights over Bean Martin as he's able to scoop it off the bounce and get into it for a touchdown. The kick was blocked, so 20-0 with 7:39 to go. So 3 quick scores for Nelsonville-York really set the tone for this game.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about ways to really bring that to the listener's attention. Alexander had 2 drives or 8 plays that went from maybe 2 or 3 yards total, and they're down 20-0 at that point.
Yeah.
After just 8 plays. That's absolutely demoralizing. It takes all the wind out of your sails.
Buckeyes would strike again with 37 seconds left in that first quarter when Thompson got a 4-yard touchdown catch from Sullivan. And then with 9 minutes left in the second quarter, Gautier with a 2-yard touchdown run, his second of the day. And Sullivan kicked the extra point there. Now we're up to 33-0. Colton Bookman got an interception, which would lead to a Landon Inman 23-yard touchdown reception from Sullivan, making the score 39-0 before Sullivan's kick, 40-0 with 2:33 left in the first half, and which we saw a running clock there around that 6-minute mark. It was from that frame. I couldn't catch when it actually started. I know it wasn't already at the 9, but maybe that's when it kicked it in. I didn't notice until around the 6.
Yeah, same. I mean, we look at the clock a fair amount, but often the play is running, so we don't know that it should be stopped that often. But, you know, what I will say about Alexander is they finished the first half a heck of a lot better than they started it. You know, they got just 2 or 3 yards on the first 2 drives, but they picked up a couple first downs here and there in the second. Isaac Waller was finding some space. They found a little bit of yards. Their last play was their only time, as far as I can recall. Their only time in Nelsonville-York territory was on the last play. So
I think you're right.
If you're going to be working, at least make sure you're going forward, right?
Absolutely. So let's reset a little bit on the Athens Insurance Services halftime show, as both teams came in tonight coming off of a victory from last week. Alexander defeated River Valley. Nelsonville-York defeated Wellston. The Spartans came in 3-4 on the season, 1-3 in league play. The Buckeyes 5-2, looking to go now 6-2, 3-0 in league play, trying to stay undefeated there, which it looks like they'll be able to do so here tonight. But also tonight, we mentioned this in the pregame show, a special night at Boston Field, collaboration between both Alexander and Nelsonville-York. You see a lot of purple, a few spatterings of teal out there, purple and teal, the colors of suicide awareness. A suicide awareness night here tonight at Boston Field. Again, both fans on both sides. The student-led initiative is really what stands out to me, is that they were the guiding force to get this thing going. Administration, hats off to them, credit to them for listening to the wants and needs of these communities, and then having this event here tonight.
Yeah, and I'd love to, if somebody out there has the answer, I'd love to know kind of the students that started this, just so we give proper credit. Obviously, all students are involved in this, but I'm sure somebody out there got this ball rolling, and it's an incredible thing to do. Such a phenomenal cause. And again, for our part, 899 is the number. If you have these suicidal thoughts, please reach out. The help is available.
Yeah, folks, we want you here. You know, stay with us. Stay with us. Tomorrow is never promised, but you can help it be a little bit more of a promise by your choices, and we want to make sure you're choosing to stay. So Suicide Awareness Night here tonight at Boston Field, and so that's obviously bigger than a 40-0 score.
Yeah.
But let's talk a little bit on the other side of a break about what maybe we can see from both these teams on adjustments. One team trying to hold on to a lead, the other trying to maybe chew into it a little bit. But we'll get to a break first.
Yeah, so we're going to take a few minutes here. More of the Athens Insurance Services halftime show coming up here on your Game of the Week on 770 AM, 103.9 FM.
Since 1926, Athens Insurance Services has focused on doing one thing and doing it well, providing peace of mind through affordable, comprehensive insurance protection. Whether you're looking for car insurance for your new teenage driver, home insurance for your first home, protection for your business, or life insurance, they've got you covered. Representing Central Insurance Company, count on Andrew, Mike, Kendra, Hannah, Chelsea, and Brent. Athens Insurance Services at 375 Richland Avenue. Call 740-593-6639. In Nelsonville, Fred Wolf Automotive is your local solution to your automotive needs. Whether it's your first car or your last, they are here to help. People always ask, who is Fred Wolf? He was their great-great-grandpa who had a car dealership in Nelsonville in the 1950s. They thought it was fitting to bring his name and some of his entrepreneurial spirit back to life. The inventory is constantly changing, so if they do not have what you are looking for, please give them a call. Local people who love to help local people. Fred Wolf Automotive, located at 1273 Chestnut Street in Nelsonville, 614-309-1756.
Who can you turn to when you need a general contractor? Choose someone with over 30 years of experience, is licensed and insured. Choose the professionals at J&K Contracting. They're a full-service commercial and residential contractor. From new builds to remodeling, J&K Contracting has you covered from the ground up. Excavating or concrete, roofing or siding, replacement windows or decks, kitchen and bathroom remodels. One call, they really do it all. Call J&K Contracting, 740-698-3521. That's J&K Contracting, 740-698-3521.
Let's be honest. The only way you should have glass work done around the house or at your business is by a professional. And that professional is Pidcock Glass in Nelsonville. They do glass replacement, storm window and repairs, and patio door glass. They do custom glass, mirrors, plexiglass, and Lexan. They can even cut custom glass of all shapes. Call Pidcock Glass today at 740-753-4527 or stop in at 500 East Canal Street in Nelsonville. Check them out online at pidcockglass.com.
If you're looking for a quality pre-owned vehicle, come to Tink's Auto Trading Post, located on State Route 13, just off of Route 33 and Columbus Road in Athens. With over 30 years of experience, you can trust that you will get a great deal at a great price. We also offer routine maintenance on your cars, such as brakes, oil changes, and tires. Tink's Auto Trading Post, where less overhead means less markup. Remember to think Tink for your next great car deal. Tink's Auto Trading Post, 740-594-8465, or visit us on the web at tinksautotradingpost.com.
Tax season's greetings from your friends at H&R Block. Whether you choose to file virtually, in person, or via drop-off, let's make it a season worth celebrating. File your way with H&R Block and get upfront, transparent pricing, expert help at every step, and a max refund guarantee that means you'll ring in the season by getting every dollar you deserve. All tax situations are different. Not everyone gets a refund. Limitations apply. See hrblock.com/guarantees.
H&R Block at 507 Richland Avenue in the old Morrison School Building in Athens, 740-589-5403.
Want to know how to get more for less? I'm talking the most bang for your buck. It's the one and only McDonald's app, slinging deals every day. So start with your choice of any breakfast sandwich, like a delicious crispy chicken biscuit or tasty Egg McMuffin for just $3. Or spend just $1 and get free medium fries. The McDonald's app is out here doing the most, and you're getting more because of it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Offer valid 9/16/24 to 10/6/24. Participating McDonald's. Valid when product served. Valid once a day. Must opt into rewards. Excludes tax.
The high school game of the week on 770 WAIS, 103.9 FM, and WAISAMradio.com.
Welcome back to the Athens Insurance Services halftime show here from Boston Field. Nelsonville-York with a commanding 40-0 lead over the Alexander Spartans. And, prior we got the chance to listen to the Marching Spartans. Now it's a Nelsonville-York fan, marching band. Do they call themselves the Marching Buckeyes?
Sure.
That's what we're calling them, with all due respect. They're out there, and of course, your daughter's out there playing as well.
Absolutely. She's on the bells there. And again, like I said, this group tomorrow has got a great honor. They're going to be at Ohio Stadium, the Ohio State University Buckeyes. They're not going to be there. They're going to be over in Oregon. But in the shoe, these Buckeyes will be able to play on that field as part of an invitational, which is a really cool thing because I believe it's the first time they've ever been accepted to this.
You don't happen to know? I'd be surprised if you did. How many they were invited?
I think there's about 20.
Oh, and I'm assuming that's all of the state of Ohio.
Yeah.
So that's very impressive, very cool. Probably a great memory for these young,
absolutely
young kids. So
look, I don't care how you get on the field at the shoe. It's fun to be down. We know this a little bit.
Yeah,
it's fun to be down there on the shoe.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking year one. This is our 10th year, which blows my mind, by the way. 10th year in the booth. And our first year, we had the pleasure of calling Athens state championship game with a guy you probably heard of, Joe Burrow at quarterback, and his friends. So we got to go all the way up there.
6 Division I players on that team that year, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Unbelievable.
And they lost by 3, I think it was, in the state championship. And Tyler Buchanan was with us at the time, and they ended up pushing us very politely, off the field afterward because we're just down there taking it all in. It's probably the second or third time I'd been on that field in my life. And obviously, I'm a huge Ohio State fan, so it was really cool.
Yeah, I hope these Marching Buckeyes do the same, that they are take it all in tomorrow.
Yeah, and again, in my experience, a lot of these band players aren't huge sports fans, and that's fine. It's not for everybody, but I have to assume it means something to them.
I mean, you can be a sports fan, and just not play football. Obviously, there's plenty of athletes out there to do other things, but I've seen some wrestlers out there, some volleyball, basketball. I see some out there, but it's just really cool to be able to do something like that on a college and one the size and the tradition of Ohio State. And once again, they will be playing at 11 o'clock if anybody wants to go up and check them out.
Yeah, and we're very privileged to have some very good collegiate bands around here. Obviously, the Marching 110 holds their own up to anybody else. So I think I see a Marching 110 jacket out here. I think we have some alumni coming in here for the band. But again, here is your score, 40-0 at halftime. We're going to run through some of these scores that are being fed to us through Mark Hunter and various sources. Manchester over Federal Hawking, 22-12. Eastern is up 21-14. I don't remember who they play.
That Manchester Fed Hawk game is on our sister station.
Yep. So if you want to tune into that, you can at 107.7 FM. Athens, last we saw, was up 20-0. Eastern versus Trimble. That's right. I forgot about that. That's that big matchup. Again, we said 21-14 last. Mark just sent that not too long ago. So it's very tough to get out. Athens, last we saw, 13-0. It's very difficult to get scores here. Service isn't great, but that's kind of your roundup. We'll do our best to get you scores, but if you want to know, Mark does a phenomenal job on our Facebook page at WSEO-Sports. He posts all the games and he updates that. I believe he has a single thread, a single post.
Just refresh that.
You just refresh that single post and he'll give you all the scores on there. But again, we're about 8, and they have not put the 3 minutes left. 8 minutes left here of the Athens Insurance halftime show. So we're going to take a few more minutes. We're going to talk about some second half adjustments on the other side here in the Game of the Week on 770 AM, 103.9 FM.
Since 1926, Athens Insurance Services has focused on doing one thing and doing it well, providing peace of mind through affordable, comprehensive insurance protection. Whether you're looking for car insurance for your new teenage driver, home insurance for your first home, protection for your business or life insurance, they've got you covered. Representing Central Insurance Company, count on Andrew, Mike, Kendra, Hannah, Chelsea, and Brent. Athens Insurance Services at 375 Richland Avenue. Call 740-593-6639.
Rutland Bottled Gas has propane for almost every need. Home, farm, industry, greenhouse, lodges, and cabin rentals. They sell and install heaters made by Buck Stove, Empire Comfort Systems, and Heat Star. Ranges by Crosley and grills by Weber. Rutland's specialty is installing and setting up propane systems that make your world more comfortable. 2 offices to serve you. The Plains are 177 North Plains Road and in Rutland at 282 Main Street. Stop by, call, or visit them at rutlandbottlegas.com for more information. Rutland Bottled Gas since 1947. 740-797-4675.
There's only one perfect food for watching or listening to sports. Pizza! Get ready for the game by calling one of the 3 locations of Little Italy Pizza in Nelsonville, Gloucester, or New Straitsville. Dough made fresh every day with 3 crusts to choose from, with all the toppings a pizza lover craves. Little Italy Pizza also features mouth-watering subs, sandwiches, salads, and appetizers. Open 7 days a week. Gloucester, New Straitsville, and Nelsonville. Locally owned and operated.
What's one of the worst feelings you can get? The one that hits you in the pit of your stomach. You can't find your keys. I have a solution. Announcing the new location of Athens Automotive Keys at 528 Richland Avenue in Athens. Dan and Gloria can take care of lost keys, transponder keys and programming, key duplication for house or business, and they now provide locksmith service. Athens Automotive Keys is open Monday through Friday, noon till 5:30 at 528 Richland Avenue, Athens. Call 740-590-6843.
In Nelsonville, Fred Wolf Automotive is your local solution to your automotive needs. Whether it's your first car or your last, they are here to help. People always ask, who is Fred Wolf? He was their great-great-grandpa who had a car dealership in Nelsonville in the 1950s. They thought it was fitting to bring his name and some of his entrepreneurial spirit back to life. The inventory is constantly changing, so if they do not have what you are looking for, please give them a call. Local people who love to help local people. Fred Wolf Automotive, located at 1273 Chestnut Street in Nelsonville, 614-309-1756. Since 1926, Athens Insurance Services has focused on doing one thing and doing it well, providing peace of mind through affordable, comprehensive insurance protection. Whether you're looking for car insurance for your new teenage driver, home insurance for your first home, protection for your business, or life insurance, they've got you covered. Representing Central Insurance Company, count on Andrew, Mike, Kendra, Hannah, Chelsea, and Brent. Athens Insurance Services at 375 Richland Avenue. Call 740-593-6639.
The high school game of the week on 770 WAIS, 103.9 FM, and WAISAMradio.com.
Welcome back to the Athens Insurance Services halftime show here from Boston Field. 40-0 is your score. The Nelsonville-York Buckeyes dominating that first half. And, you know, we talked about it a little bit in the second quarters. We're about 4.5 away from second half action. This game's probably out of hand for, really both teams. Nelsonville-York's probably going to see a lot of fresh jerseys in there.
Yeah.
We've already seen them working on some things. Maybe going forward, you know, Cam Sullivan kicking some PATs. I think he's kicked the last 3. Maybe it's just 2. But he's kicking these PATs. You kind of wonder, anytime, you know, Logan Meeks doing a fine job, so there's no reason to want to replace him aside from...
You just know you can.
Yeah.
You know, if something happens, you know you don't have to struggle in that moment. I imagine that Sullivan's been practicing it as well in practices. But, might as well have another one.
And for Alexander's side of things, 40-0 would be one of the biggest comebacks, I think, in school history. So you probably start looking forward to what can we do next week as they're at...
they're at Logan Elm, which is not going to be an easy game for them either. They're a very good team.
Yeah, they are a good team. Now, obviously, that's a non-conference one. But, you know, you start looking at things. And, again, playoffs aren't out of the picture in Division 5. So if you win a couple games, you could very well find yourself on the road for playoffs.
If you're having to beat Logan Elm, that would go a long
get you
way
some
to
points
doing
there.
that.
So we're talking second half adjustments here. These are probably things that we're going to see, not just for this game, but what do you think they need to work on, Joe?
For Alexander first?
You take your pick.
We'll do Alexander first. And, again, it's just consistency. It's getting the ball in your playmakers' hands with some space to work with. Whether that gets you 3 yards or 17 yards or you take it to the house, doesn't really matter. The execution of the play is what's important because they just haven't been able to get anything sustained. You know, it's 3 and out, or, you know, you get a first down, but then you get a penalty that takes away everything. You know, they just need consistency So I think you simplify the offense, you get the things that you need to do so that you get out of here. First off, you get out of here healthy.
Yeah.
But that you also get out of here knowing that you can accomplish X, Y, and Z in your playbook and not having to worry about, well, we've got a playbook of 100 plays and we're good at 20 of them. You know, we're decent at 20 of them, but that's 80 we can't do. You know, you want to make sure that you're getting something in there that you can rely on. And I haven't seen that outside of trying to give the ball to Waller. But that kid, the young man, is having to do everything for that team, offensively and defensively. And you can't rely on that. You know that. This is one of the ultimate team games in football where everybody has to contribute in different ways. And it's just not feasible to turn around and hand it off to him 40 times and then ask him to go get 40 tackles on the other side.
Yeah, I completely agree. And he's a guy who's going to do that with no
he
problem.
Could try.
Yeah,
he would try.
And he'd love to try, for being honest here. So part of you says, let's just hit our bread and butter. Let's get out of this healthy. But at the same time, I think this is an opportunity against one of the better defenses you're going to see all season to try to work in new stuff. Now, you're probably going to see a lot of the secondary units, but that's kind of going to give you more success.
I see where you're coming from. Yes, if you're playing against more of the second and third strings for Nelsonville-York, then I would definitely open it up to see, because that may be something you would get even more momentum built off of that. If you hit for a big play and you're like, look, we can actually do this, and it's not going to really matter that we were playing that. We did it. And it goes back to, I think I'm kind of bringing together both our points, because if you're able to do that, that's still going to build your confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess my point was always, Isaac Waller running the ball is going to be there.
Right.
Maybe he's not going to be able to run against everybody, but you can rely on that. So what can we do to open that up a little bit? That's what the mindset I would come in. Now, you also don't want to come out and throw in the second half, because Nelsonville showed you a little bit of mercy here. You're not going to try, but you are going to try to work on things.
But I don't think that precludes getting Trent Shad and Carter Jewell involved in the passing game to the point where they can get something going. Shad is a senior, so he's only got a limited time back out here. Carter Jewell looks like he's a sophomore. Looks like he's going to be the one to step up in that main role. So you got to get something going as well. So I don't think you can't play. Maybe you just don't throw bombs to them, but still getting them in open space. And that's what I'd like to see if I'm a Spartan fan.
And for Nelsonville-York, I think I don't know that I even expect to see the starters here. Typically, I like the idea of running them out on the first series. Yeah. But what are you going to see on that you didn't see in the first half? It was as almost of a perfect first half as you could expect.
Yeah, I don't think I'm playing any of my offensive starters. I might play my defensive starters here or there just to kind of take some more time off the clock and then let my other guys in. But I would be fine with just seeing the JV team in there as early as possible for Nelsonville-York, because they've got a difficult matchup on the road at Benton County next week, and then they've got the big game in Week 10 against the Athens Bulldogs here at Boston Field.
That's one of the rougher ways the teams are swapping field positions here. Nelsonville-York will kick off left to right, by the way. That's one of the tougher, I say that with an asterisk, one of the tougher ways to end your season here.
Sure.
Benton County didn't turn out to be quite as good as they thought, but they're no pushover.
Dangerous.
Yeah, we have them, I think, we decided at the top of the mid-tier.
Yep.
I think there's a clear 1 and 2.
Yes.
That's Nelsonville-York and Athens. But I think Benton County is probably the top of that second tier. I think Alexander might be lower mid or top of the bottom. However you want to word that, whatever. You go to Benton County, and then you have the Beast the following week. So just kind of work on things, but more importantly, stay healthy here. Nelsonville kicking off is Meek as we conclude the Athens Insurance Services halftime show. It's going to be muffed at the 15-yard line, where Alexander is just going to have to dive on it, where they start their first possession, 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line.
Playing it safe there, but I would like to see him try and pick that up and run with it. He had plenty of room in front of him to at least get the ball and survey the field, get a few more yards out of it. But I imagine that's been coached into him, like, hey, once you let the ball go past you, just get down on it. We don't want to risk that taking it all the way back for a touchdown, that sort of thing.
Yeah, you certainly don't fault the kid for going the safe route. Mark's feeding us some more scores. Federal Hawking with a little bit of a comeback, 22-18. Again, that's on our sister station, 107.7 FM. Listen, if you want to flip over there, we get it, okay?
Stay with us.
Stick it in here as Alexander comes out. Pistol formation, 1st and 10 at their own 15-yard line to move it back up. Bateman hands the ball off to Waller, tries to go off A-gap right side. Fumbled the ball, and Nelsonville-York has a clear recovery. The ball just rolled out so much, I kind of thought it was a shoe or something, because nobody's really diving on it. But just like that, Nelsonville-York gets a fumble on the first play, and you don't expect that to come from Isaac Waller.
No, you don't. And I think maybe Jaron Layton got that recovery.
Well, he didn't scoop and score it. Caleb still got him beat on the night. And, speaking of all this, we do have a Texas Roadhouse Player of the Game to give out. That's going to be in your post-game show. And we've got some discussing to do on that, Joe.
Yeah, we do. And we've got the starters are still out there for Nelsonville-York to start this first possession and in great field position inside the red zone.
They do bring the starters back out. I see Gautier, Cunningham, Sullivan under center. 2 wideouts right, and Meek and Edmond. And then 1 wideout left would be Thompson. Hand the ball off on a counter play on the right-hand side of Gautier. He's inside. He's going to go untouched. Touchdown. Buckeyes. Austin Gautier, 17 yards. Joe, they ran that on that C-gap right side, and guess who's there? Will Odenthal. We'll run that every time there. I don't believe he got touched. Sullivan's throwing shoes again. He's out of control.
Throwing shoes.
Where's his parents at?
Well, they're here. I guarantee you that.
We're having fun, folks. He's walking over the sideline now. I'm not sure he's going to kick this one.
Nope, Meek's going to do it.
Yeah, Meek is in there.
They pulled him. He had him throw his shoe off for nothing.
So he threw his shoe for nothing. I don't even think he put the other one on, so he walked over there without a shoe. I'd say play without the shoe. See what happens. Oh, Shoeless Joe from Lori in our ears telling us I like it. Meek in to kick this. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up. And he splits the upright 47-0 now. Alexander trailing Nelsonville-York. 9:22 to go in this fourth quarter. We're going to take a quick break here on your Game of the Week on 770 AM, 103.9 FM.
Let's be honest. The only way you should have glasswork done around the house or at your business is by a professional. And that professional is Pidcock Glass in Nelsonville. They do glass replacement, storm window and repairs, and patio door glass. They do custom glass, mirrors, plexiglass, and Lexan. They can even cut custom glass of all shapes. Call Pidcock Glass today at 740-753-4527 or stop in at 500 East Canal Street in Nelsonville. Check them out online at pidcockglass.com.
If you're looking for a quality pre-owned vehicle, come to Tink's Auto Trading Post, located on State Route 13, just off of Route 33 and Columbus Road in Athens. With over 30 years of experience, you can trust that you will get a great deal at a great price. We also offer routine maintenance on your cars, such as brakes, oil changes, and tires. Tink's Auto Trading Post, where less overhead means less markup. Remember to think Tink for your next great car deal. Tink's Auto Trading Post, 740-594-8465, or visit us on the web at tinksautotradingpost.com.
The high school game of the week on 770 WAIS, 103.9 FM, and WAISAMradio.com.
Trishad's going to return this to the 29 for Alexander, where they have it on their second possession of the second half. Some little more out of the area scores here coming through Facebook from Jeremy Allen. These are Perry County scores if you're interested. New Lecks 27, Meadowbrooks 13 at halftime. Coshocton 28, Crooksville 13 at halftime. Miller 27, Fairfield Christian 14 at halftime. Sheridan 27, Morgan 9 at halftime. So again, thanks to Jeremy Allen. If you're in a game and you want to give us some scores, send us our way at WSCO-Sports, and we'll give you a shout out as well. First and 10 here for Bateman with Waller to his right, who will receive a handoff. He keeps it himself as Bateman goes off the right-hand side. Gets a good block by Carter Jewell on the outside. He finally goes out of bounds close to the 35. We'll see the official spot at the 34, so a pickup of about 6.
That may be somewhat of a start of a recipe for success for the Spartans, is just kind of keep it on the ground and see what you can do with Waller and Bateman. Bateman can run that football when he makes a good decision to get out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, anytime you have Waller in the backfield, he's drawing all the attention. So that QB read works well. But, it's just not something that you're going to have a ton of success against this team. So they come back out, pistol set, they're going to hand it off on that counter play. We've seen a few times with a little bit of success, and they do get close to the first down on this one, out to the 37.
I'd say that's probably their most successful, consistent play is Mash got the reception there, or the handoff.
And they're just going to give them the first down, and, that's not something to take too lightly, as first downs for Alexander have been few and far between.
See a Buckeye, Carson, Zoke coming off, limping there. This is what I would worry about at this point. Is if I'm the Buckeyes, I don't think I'm playing my starters very much longer.
First and 10, Alexander out to their own 38-yard line. Again, they've only been on Nelsonville-York's side one time, and that was the final play of the first half. They hand the ball off to Waller here. Goes up to the left-hand side. He's across midfield here and taken down. He's dragging a couple Buckeyes. He did not go lightly. but he got down to the Nelsonville-York 44 as he drug, I think, half of the defense on that play.
Waller still the bright spot for this Spartan team.
Yeah, no surprise there. So this will be their first actual snap in Nelsonville-York territory because, again, they ended the first half, but that was the final play at the Nelsonville-York 48.
Right.
So the first snap in positive territory here for the Alexander Spartans. I do see a lot of the same numbers out there for Nelsonville-York.
Yeah,
I do
still
see
got the starters.
1st and 10 at the 45. Pistol formation, Waller in behind Bateman. 2 wideouts left, 1 slot right, 1 far right. Going to fake, or he's going to hand the ball off to Waller on the counter. He's got to get back across midfield. He does, and he gets. He might have lost a yard on that. That's something they kind of fake a pitch out to the right-hand side, and then Waller cuts back on a counter. I don't know that I've seen that play before.
Ryder Huddy Dolly gets the tackle there.
But again, it's kind of a trick play, right? Counters are. It's almost aligned with reverses, but just a little less risky, if you will. So they know that they're not going to beat the Nelsonville-York defense by just running it up the middle every time because we've seen 4 or 5 counter plays in the first half.
And once again, it's just a consistent, hey, this works for us, and it has worked for them. So it's not about continuing to do it, but just knowing that you can do it.
Trips right here. Pistol set to have Mash out of the backfield. He's going to throw it out to him. It's going to go incomplete. There's nobody goes for that. A throw like that's very close every time to being a lateral, which is a fumble. And I'm scared every time the ball hits the ground and nobody goes for it. But they do call it incomplete. But I'm just telling my guys, let's go get that ball.
Anyway. And see, that's another play that I want them to see and try again at some point because that should work. That was an open play. It was a poorly thrown ball, and it wasn't really gone after too much by the receiver either. So that's something that you want to say, guys, this is here for us. I guarantee you that play that we just saw will be on their tape, on their film study this week.
Yeah, and that's a play. Isaac Waller was out for that. He's been doing everything for this Alexander team. He wanted one play off, and unfortunately an incomplete pass came of it. It's 3rd and 11 here. They're going to run an option here with Waller out to the right-hand side. Bateman keeps it himself, and his legs get taken out at about the 43, maybe the 44 for a short pickup of probably 2, as we do have an injured Alexander player.
It is Bateman.
And he's holding that leg. So we're going to take an injury timeout. 47-0 is your score here with 4:32 left in this contest. We're going to take a break here in your Game of the Week on 770 AM, 103.9 FM.
Who can you turn to when you need a general contractor? Choose someone with over 30 years of experience, is licensed and insured. Choose the professionals at J&K Contracting. They're a full-service commercial and residential contractor. From new builds to remodeling, J&K Contracting has you covered from the ground up. Excavating or concrete, roofing or siding, replacement windows or decks, kitchen and bathroom remodels. One call, they really do it all. Call J&K Contracting, 740-698-3521. That's J&K Contracting, 740-698-3521.
Discover your future at Tri-County Career Center, where students earn industry-recognized credentials in fields like nursing, HVAC, networking, and welding. Dive into a learning experience that equips you with the job-focused skills needed to succeed in the workforce, the military, or college. Whether you're eyeing our 2-year programs or adult courses, you too can boost your earning potential. Take the first step today. Call 800-637-6508 or visit us at tricountyhightech.com. Tri-County proudly supports all student athletes.
The high school game of the week on 770 WAIS, 103.9 FM, and WAISAMradio.com.
That was Alex Bateman for the Alexander Spartans, who did get up on his own and looked to be favoring his left hip, I believe.
Yeah, a little gingerly.
Maybe the thigh. So
going to bring up a punt situation anyway, so hopefully we do see him out there, or at least that he's okay if he doesn't come back out given the score.
Right, and obviously health on both sides is paramount here.
Absolutely.
But numbers for Alexander are already dwindled. So all that aside, they don't have the extra players really. 4th and 8 here for Alexander. We have a false start. They're going to punch him back 5 yards. And this is the point I'm talking to the officials saying, guys, come on. We know. Just tell the player after the play, saying, hey, we got you on this. Here's what you need to do next time. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I like the official. And, they have no obligation to do that. But my opinion is they should be teaching the kids how to play instead of just strict. It's 47-0. Let's call this with an iron fist.
I think the best ones do that, though. The best ones do teach.
High snap. He's able to bring it down and does not get blocked. I thought he was going to.
Better on the kick.
gets to the 21, takes an Alexander roll down to the 15, the 14, the 13 as Alec Thompson faked like he was going in. Heck, maybe he really wanted to once again, but their worst field position of the night.
Credit Jake Roush on that one because, man, that ball was up over his head. He brought it in with one hand but didn't have full control. It goes over to the other hand. It's kind of bouncing it around, then brings it down, and it's still got a very good punt off.
Yeah, and Nelsonville-York, of course, has, to their own credit, sort of pulled back the dogs a little bit as they got those two blocks real early. They sort of pulled back the range a little bit, knowing the score in the situation. 3 minutes left in this open quarter. Again, we do have a running clock here, 47-0. Nelsonville-York ahead of Alexander. We do have some new players, at least in the backfield. It looks like Cunningham's still in there at halfback or fullback. I can't tell. It's a 20-something for Nelsonville-York. And they do hand the ball off to 20-something. He goes out the right-hand side. He's got a lot of speed. It looks to be Caden McWilliams out to the 30, 35, 40. He's trying to beat Alexander. He can't get away from Trevor Sweeney. But that is Caden McWilliams, a junior for Nelsonville-York. And can you say speed, Joe?
What a burst that was. My goodness.
He's listed as 5'8", 160, and he looks to be 5'5", 5'6", just amongst the rest of his players out there. He looks so small, but, man, he has some speed. And just like that, they're in Alexander territory at the 48.
Another Buckeye who can run the ball for 40 yards on a play.
Well, the interesting thing is, again, I expected him to be almost a freshman or sophomore, but he's a junior. That's how deep this Nelsonville-York team is. 1st and 10 at the Alexander 48, Sullivan under center. And I believe they do have a new fullback in there, and Dylan Moore. They hand the ball off again to McWilliams, who...
This is a different one. We're going to get
that's
6.
number 6. Noah Arnold, who is a freshman for Nelsonville-York.
And he's going to pick up, 3 there?
Yeah. Down to the... no, he got 2.
It does look like Levi Sneddon is now in playing quarterback for the Buckeyes. Or no, he's going. He just brought the play in. I see. He's going out to the left wide out there.
Dylan Moore is the fullback
Sullivan's
here.
Still the quarterback.
Dylan Moore Jr., 5'11", 175, a returning varsity or returning letterman I formation. They hand the ball off once again to Arnold, who's going to...
And the Spartans are going to pick that one up.
Okay,
so the ball bounced. It never really made the connection on the handoff. Kind of fell out, and it bounced off the running back's knee there in Arnold's knee, and it just went forward about 6 yards before it was finally recovered by the Spartans. I didn't see who got it for Alexander, but either way, Spartans will take over.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the ball come out, but I never saw where it went. I never saw who had it. So, we heard the reaction. The coaches right next to us, the Alexander side, and we could hear a reaction from them, which leads you to believe that they believe their guys have it. That's a positive takeaway.
There was another Buckeye around down that one, so he was just picking it up and doing down on it. So
again, the turnover margin is at least zeroed out now, right? So that's positive things for this Alexander defense.
Carter Jewell is in at quarterback for the Spartans. Again, hopefully Bateman is okay, but I don't blame that if he's banged up a little bit, that you just keep him out for giving the score and the time and all of that good stuff. No reason to throw him out there unless you're just trying to get him to say, you're good, go out and get hit one more time to feel that and be okay,
Right, yeah, get it kind of out of your head, right?
Is this him coming in now?
It does look like it, but we're not going to get.
That's good to know.
We're not going to get a playoff here. The end of the third quarter here for Boston Field, 47-0 is your score. Buckeyes in command of this lead. Fourth quarter action coming up on the other side here in your game of the week on 770 AM, 103.9 FM.
This is XYZ Insurance. How can I help?
I have a question about my home policy.
Okay, question about phone policy.
Home policy.
Okay, gnome policy.
H-O-M-E, home.
Technology is great, but sometimes it's better to talk with a real person. With Erie Insurance, you have a caring, independent agent who's with you from beginning to end. Your Erie agent is McFadden Insurance. Get a quote today by calling 753-1905. Go to erieinsurance.com for company licensure and product details.
That man. Call the man. Call the man. Just call the man. Just call the man. You better call that man. Call the man. We'll call the man. Call the man. Why didn't you call the man? I should have called the man like you said.
Call Coach's Appliance Heating and Air to take care of your appliances along with your heating and cooling needs. Call or text Nick today at 740-594-1865. That's 740-594-1865. A family-owned business since 1986. Coach's Appliance Heating and Air. The high school game of the week on 770 WAIS, 103.9 FM, and WAISAMradio.com.
Welcome back to Boston Field here. Start of the fourth quarter, 47-0 is your score. You know, we talked about the injury with Bateman, but Carter Jewell ran that last play. They lost 8 yards on that. We've had this interesting dynamic between Jewell and Bateman early in the season where they were alternating quite a bit, almost as if as Nelsonville-York gets a encroachment. So there was this weird 2-quarterback system, almost like they couldn't figure out who they want. Now, typically in a situation like this, you would see Jewell as a sophomore and say, hey, well, let's start putting eggs in that basket. But Bateman's only a junior, so if you want him and you believe in him, you know you could get at least one more year out of him. So I just don't know if they know who they want there right now.
Like I said, I like what I have seen of Bateman. I would just wish to see a little more passing attack of just trying it and doing things. But I haven't seen all their games, so maybe they have done that and it hasn't worked out. I'm not sure.
Pistol formation, 2nd and 13. They're going to pitch it out to Waller on the right-hand side. He tries to get on the outside, and he does get back to the line of scrimmage. He might have got a yard as a host of Buckeyes out there, Walker Stone being one of them, as well as Jackson Blake.
Jackson Blake got there, too.
Blake, a freshman for Nelsonville-York, 5'9", 165. You know, a young guy out there. We're probably going to see a lot in the future. We're going to try to get some of these names out here because these guys certainly deserve it.
It's starting to rotate in some of the backup players as Caleb Layton comes out for, that's
Caden McWilliams.
Caden McWilliams, who we saw on that run earlier. A bit of height difference for that line play.
Compare. Caleb Layton is a he's listed at 6'5", 285.
I don't think he's 6'5".
I was a little surprised by that. And then Caden McWilliams, 5'8", 160.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about a difference. Shotgun formation, 3rd and 12 here for the Spartans. Bateman's going to load this up. He's going to throw it across the middle, and it's going to go incomplete. It went through the hands of Walker Stone, just lays the hit on Maddox Meek.
Throw a flag on that play, but that's not defensive receiver. He actually pulled up.
I don't agree with that
They pick
call.
up the flag. Okay, because, I mean, you could see, like, he saw the play coming to Walker Stone and saw he was going to have a clean hit. He could have absolutely laid him out, but he laid up a bit, seeing the situation.
For his part, it was a very clean, a very good hit. Yeah. I mean, it looked bad, but only because Meek was it Meek? Maddox Meek he had the momentum going. So he hit sort of a brick wall, but there was nothing dirty. And Coach Davis is out here. Coach Davis is out here now trying to figure out what happened to that. I think he's making his case saying, hey, my guy just got walloped.
No.
And again, they did wave that off.
And the official showed him. He went down. He did not target the head. He went down. And he could have laid out the kid, and he did not. I thought that actually showed a lot of restraint and sportsmanship of Walker Stone. He had a shot to put a highlight reel tackle, and instead he just made the regular play, if you will, although it was a good hard hit.
Yeah, and so some of the confusion came because, we're now looking at 4th and 12. The offense was still out there, and maybe they still go for this, but I think he was assuming there was going to be a first down out of that.
Yeah.
And part of you kind of wonders if a coach isn't just out there sticking up for his kids,
Could be, yeah.
So, he's well within his right to do that.
Applaud that.
And that play was on the opposite side of the field from him. He saw a flag come in, and he's probably just like, hey, what happened to that flag? You thought there was a penalty. Where's the penalty? So coach is doing his job out there, but they do wave it off. 4th and 12 here for Alexander. They do come out to punt. Roush, low snap. Goes down to get it. Doesn't send a lot of pressure to Nelsonville-York because he's going to back up here. Is Hodgson, who's going to run back down to the 20. He's going to pick this up at the 16. He's wrapped up, gets away from it. Goes out to the right-hand side, gets the edge, 30-yard line. Spin move up on the inside. Spin moves again to the outside, 40-yard line. He jukes, and he's out of bounds at the 41. Joe, I'm out of ways to describe what he was doing.
Yeah, it was nice and fun. He's doing all these moves, and then Alexander's special weapon just says, that's enough. Waller tracked him down and put him down. So
yeah, you're not getting away from Waller too much. 8:34 to go in this contest. 47-0. Nelsonville-York in command here against Alexander. And I see a lot of new jerseys come out here for the Buckeyes. And again, Alexander's sprinkling them in, but they don't have the numbers to sprinkle them. They don't have an entire second unit. I believe they've got a JV team, which is kind of surprising just looking at the numbers.
A couple kids playing both.
But JV teams aren't something that Alexander can consistently have. It took until I think my senior or junior year until we had one when I played. So
they are a bigger school.
I mean, division. You almost look at that and think that they might be Division 7 or 6, but no, they're Division 5. It's tough to look at these two and be like, wow, they're in the same division.
Right.
And the difference, if you ask anybody in Nelsonville-York, or even half the people at Alexander say, Alexander has a soccer team. And those kids deserve the right to play. And Nelsonville-York fans would probably say the differ, but nonetheless, that's my stance on it.
It's just the culture, too.
Sure.
Like, here at Nelsonville-York, that's what they do. They play football.
Yeah.
That's you grow up learning to play the game. You grow up wanting to be out here on Boston Field on the Friday night lights. And that's just what they do. It's not that anything else is not less important. It's just that's the culture here at Nelsonville. And I would say Trimble's the same way.
Sure.
That's what they do. They kind of breed football players and athletes over there. So it's no different. And it's not that Alexander doesn't have it. It's just it's not to the level that it is here.
Yeah, in Alexander's defense, they have had a plethora of success in the soccer program.
Sure.
And they have more, I would say, more success in other areas, for sure, too, as they come out here with some younger guys.
Like Dylan Moore, maybe, on the carry at that time?
Yeah, we're still trying to get some scores here coming in. I see 41-0, the Bulldogs ahead.
Wow, they are just rolling.
Yeah, I mean, that Week 10 matchup is...
They're undefeated, so they're 8-0.
That Week 10 matchup is just something we're looking at our chops for. We're going to be calling that one. That's at Athens, right?
No, it's here.
Here at Boston Field. That's even better if you're Nelsonville-York. I do see Manchester still at halftime leading Federal Hawking 22-18, but we still got 6.5 minutes left in this game. The young Buckeyes are out here, 3rd and 12 at their own 37. So we're about 6 minutes away from game time of our post-game show where we're going to have a player of the game to give out. Again, we've got some discussing to do. I'm going to make my plea here for an offensive lineman for Nelsonville-York, but we'll get to that.
It'd be a good plea for the way they've been playing tonight.
We'll get back to that here shortly. 3rd and 12. They are under center with their backup unit. Pitches up to the left-hand side. Makes some nice moves at number 12. Jackson Blake. He's got to move out the right-hand side. Waller's trying to chase him. And Waller does finally drag him to where he gets away, and then he comes back with another hit, but I'm trying to see the other Alexander player. And I'm telling you, in a foot race, I don't know that Isaac Waller is catching him just because that's how quick he is.
Jackson Blake did a nice job getting all the way down to the 25-yard line with this backup unit, this secondary unit for the Buckeyes. And, man, there's some talent there, too. Look at the speed we're seeing from these other backs.
And, again, Jackson Blake, what number was he?
12.
Yeah, he's just a freshman.
Yeah.
5'9", 165, so get used to hearing that name in the coming years. If you follow the JV team, you're probably already familiar with it, but we're going to be familiar with him because we're going to be saying Blake quite a bit in the coming years.
Levi Sneddon getting the play into his troops here as quarterback. Behind him, I believe, is both Moore and then also Blake.
1st and 10 at the Alexander 25-yard line with 5 minutes to go in this contest. I formation, hand the ball out to Blake. Kicks it up to the left-hand side. He's hit by Waller again, and a couple other Spartans in there. Can't see who else. I see Trent Mash is in there, as well as Trent Shad. So the Trent.
It feels like Waller has either made the tackle or assisted on every tackle in the game.
Well, he's certainly been to the point. We typically give the player of the game out to the winning team, but you could make a case that he deserves it for Alexander. And again, that's a conversation we're going to have. You have to stick around to the post-game show to figure that one out as we approach 4.5 to go. You see Layton, we're keeping an eye on, which one was it that got hurt? Was it Caleb?
He is out. Caleb Layton is back out there, so he seems okay. They just don't really need him out there right now, but I did see him come back out. He was ready to play.
He's had played most of the season with a cast on, so, obviously re-injuring his arm is a big concern.
It seems to be okay. Noah Arnold gets a carry there for the Buckeyes, and he'll get it out to the 21, brings up 3rd down. But, yeah, Caleb Layton and a number of players on this team that maybe not as shining stars that you just want to make sure are healthy. Because you got a big game on the road at Benton County, and then the game here at Boston Field in Week 10 against the Athens Bulldogs. So there's a lot to make sure you're staying healthy for out there, outside of just staying healthy.
Yeah, those are the guys, those are the type of cogs to this offense.
Yeah.
They're not going to get the headlines. They're not going to get the pictures of them. Well, he might in this one for blocking that punt and taking it to the house.
Sure.
But they're not typically going to get the pictures on the front page of the websites as they hand the ball off here.
Arnold again.
Arnold for a gain of 2. But they're very pivotal. Why am I struggling with that word so much tonight? On how this offense moves. So, we've had both of the Layton zone with us before on the Wild World of Sports, and they're just a blast to have around. We're going to have them on again. It's been probably a little over a year since we've had them, but they're monumental in how this offense moves, and the defense for that matter, as they play both sides. 4th and 4 here for the Buckeyes, only their second 4th down of the night, I do believe. First one they went on 4th and goal from the 4, and they threw a touchdown pass. As Sneddon comes out and gets his troops in order here. Play clock isn't even running anymore. They're down to 5 now, or maybe that was a 10. With 2.5 to go, 5. Now they do snap this. Pitch it out to the right-hand side to Blake. He's got room on the outside. He's going to be wrapped up, and he's going to be short. So Alexander will get a turnover on downs here late in this contest.
Just a freshman, and didn't make a decisive play. If he makes a decisive play to the inside or the outside, either one was there for him. He just couldn't make up his mind, and that would have been a first down. But, again, you can see the potential. You can see the next one. We talk about Nelsonville-York so often that they don't rebuild. They reload. Yep. This is why.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're so fortunate to be in so many situations where these young guys can get these Friday night experience. So that's really that foundation. Again, we talk about the size difference, but Alexander's guys are out there out of necessity, not because they're up 50 points late in the game. So, as you said, there's a number of different things. Culture is certainly one of them, and we're not here to take shots at any other sports or anything.
Not at all.
I think we both firmly believe that everybody can choose to play the sports if they want. As we're about 90 seconds left in this game, Alexander will get a false start unless they're going to decide. The officials didn't want to call that one.
They were trying not to call it until everybody looked over at the official like, are you going to call it? I guess I will.
Well, oddly enough, that's when you have to call because, if the defense crosses over, you can just say, all right, let's let that one go. But they got Alexander on a false start there. He's not allowed to get back, so.
They're going to huddle back up after they had already been to the line. I've never seen that, I don't think.
No. Well, you would typically we're going to run the same play. Yeah. So the 5-yard penalty happened. Alexander just quickly gets set again. And they're like, no, let's regroup here. Maybe they're going to try to call something else. What an odd time to do so. But this is probably the last play of the game. And, we'll see. Again, the play clocks are off, and I don't know how much that line judge is going to be a stickler to this because he's the one with the clock right now. He's got that mental play. He hasn't even held anything up here. They do take the snap. Bateman looking to pass. He's going to air this down the left-hand side into double coverage. Some little push and shove out there. They're going to call that's the right call. Yep. That was a pass interference. Yep. So that's another one of those. Who cares? The game's over. 15 seconds left. By the time anybody gets set, the game is going to be over. But it does matter to this Nelsonville-York defense. They're going to say, hey, week 10, if this is a single coverage, now again, I know that's a backup unit. But they're going to say, next year, the year after, when you're in there, the game's on the line, this could be the difference play. But it's not in this one. So your final score here from Boston Field, Nelsonville-York 47, Alexander 0. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to have a very short post-game show coming up on the other side here in the Game of the Week at 770 AM, 103.9 FM.
What's one of the worst feelings you can get? The one that hits you in the pit of your stomach. You can't find your keys. I have a solution. Announcing the new location of Athens Automotive Keys at 528 Richland Avenue in Athens. Dan and Gloria can take care of lost keys, transponder keys and programming, key duplication for house or business, and they now provide locksmith service. Athens Automotive Keys is open Monday through Friday, noon till 5:30 at 528 Richland Avenue, Athens. Call 740-590-6843.
In Nelsonville, Fred Wolf Automotive is your local solution to your automotive needs. Whether it's your first car or your last, they are here to help. People always ask, who is Fred Wolf? He was their great-great-grandpa who had a car dealership in Nelsonville in the 1950s. They thought it was fitting to bring his name and some of his entrepreneurial spirit back to life. The inventory is constantly changing, so if they do not have what you are looking for, please give them a call. Local people who love to help local people. Fred Wolf Automotive, located at 1273 Chestnut Street in Nelsonville, 614-309-1756.
Our area is a great place to live. It's a great place to raise a family. One of our basic purposes is to serve the financial needs of this area. The money we lend is used to send kids to college, finance new businesses which create new jobs, and much, much more. We're an equal housing lender. First National Bank. Together we grow. Member FDIC. Online at first-national.com.
I'm Dr. Amy Maggard, and I'm a pediatrician at Holzer in Athens. Choosing to practice here meant coming home for me, and I'm able to give back to the community that I love. When it comes to local health care, think Holzer first.
I'm Dr. Aaron Ramsey, and I've been a chiropractor here at Holzer Athens for 20 years. I love this community and its people. It's why I choose to work and raise my family here. It's all about community, and that's why I think Holzer first.
This is XYZ Insurance. How can I help?
I have a question about my home policy.
Okay, question about phone policy.
Home policy.
Okay, gnome policy.
HOME, home.
Technology is great, but sometimes it's better to talk with a real person. With Erie Insurance, you have a caring, independent agent who's with you from beginning to end. Your Erie agent is McFadden Insurance. Get a quote today by calling 753-1905. Go to erieinsurance.com for company licensure and product details.
In Nelsonville, Fred Wolf Automotive is your local solution to your automotive needs. Whether it's your first car or your last, they are here to help. People always ask, who is Fred Wolf? He was their great-great-grandpa who had a car dealership in Nelsonville in the 1950s. They thought it was fitting to bring his name and some of his entrepreneurial spirit back to life. The inventory is constantly changing, so if they do not have what you are looking for, please give them a call. Local people who love to help local people. Fred Wolf Automotive, located at 1273 Chestnut Street in Nelsonville, 614-309-1756.
Our area is a great place to live. It's a great place to raise a family. One of our basic purposes is to serve the financial needs of this area. The money we lend is used to send kids to college, finance new businesses which create new jobs, and much, much more. We're an equal housing lender. First National Bank. Together we grow. Member FDIC. Online at first-national.com.
I'm Dr. Amy Maggard, and I'm a pediatrician at Holzer in Athens. Choosing to practice here meant coming home for me, and I'm able to give back to the community that I love. When it comes to local health care, think Holzer first.
I'm Dr. Aaron Ramsey, and I've been a chiropractor here at Holzer Athens for 20 years. I love this community and its people. It's why I choose to work and raise my family here. It's all about community, and that's why I think Holzer first.
The high school game of the week on 770 WAIS, 103.9 FM, and WAISAMradio.com.
Welcome to the post-game show here from Boston Fields. The Nelsonville-York Buckeyes stay undefeated in league play with a score of 47-0 over the Alexander Spartans in a game that could be recapped by just domination, right?
Yeah, and I'll recap the scoring for you, and that'll just show it. As Gautier started out with a 2-yard touchdown run right there at the beginning of the game, 10:41 left on the first quarter clock. After that, Bean Martin gets a block punt that set up a play, one play later actually, as Inman passed to Sullivan. Landon Inman passed to Cameron Sullivan for 6 yards, bringing the score to 14-0. Right after that, Alexander's next possession led to a Caleb Layton block punt for a touchdown. 20-0 was the score after that kick was blocked. Then after that, Thompson, a 4-yard touchdown catch from Sullivan, made it 26-0 right near the end of the first quarter. Gautier started the second quarter the same way with a 2-yard touchdown run. Sullivan went to the kicker spot and kicked that one through. And then Bookman gets an interception, which set up a Landon Inman 23-yard touchdown pass from Cameron Sullivan, making it 40-0. And then here in the second half, just the one score, Gautier a 17-yard run for the touchdown, 47-0, your final.
And so a lot of positive things to look for if you're Nelsonville-York, but there's some things that they're going to circle. You know, Coach Richards is going to circle a lot of plays on this, say, hey, I want to focus on this one and see how we can improve, because he's the type of coach who's, he's happy with the win, but how can we be better?
Yeah, I think when you're talking about from the Nelsonville-York side of things, they came out here and did what they wanted to do. They were able to create some turnovers, to be able to not give up anything really, not have penalties. They played a clean game. Sure. They controlled the contest. They got out of here what seemed to be healthy. They checked all the boxes here tonight. Yeah. So for Nelsonville-York, it's just took care of business. Now let's go to Benton County and do the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's their next matchup, and one that you certainly can't look past. It would be easy to look past in the Week 10, and that's that matchup here at home against Athens. But again, Benton County is a team that can punch you in the mouth if you do take them too lightly. Now, on the Alexander side of things, a lot less positives there, but they did get that one takeaway, which is something you're proud of. They evened that up the turnover margin, but I do think they finished let's say the third quarter, because the fourth quarter was kind of garbage time with that. They finished that better than they started.
Yeah, if you're Alexander, I think you came in hoping for a better result, obviously, but knowing you were going to be a little bit outmatched in this one, just in where both these teams stand. But your season's not over. You've got another tough matchup against Logan Elm. So you can take a lot of the things that you see on tape tonight and say, okay, well, if we'd have hit this hole instead of that, if we'd have made this decision instead of that, and we can clean that up this week, that may let us dent the scoreboard a little more against a team like Logan Elm, who's a very good team as well, and maybe create some positive momentum heading into potentially the offseason for the Spartans.
Right. So we'll get you some of these final scores again. Nelsonville-York victorious, 47-0 here. Last score we saw was Manchester ahead of Federal Hocking, 22-18 at halftime. That was a game that was 22-0, I believe, or it was in Manchester's control. Federal Hocking fighting back a little bit. We saw Athens last we saw 34-0. They were up. Eastern 21-14 over Trimble. That's a big matchup. That's been a while, so we're hoping.
What was that score cut out there?
Eastern beating Trimble 21-14.
21-14.
But that's been a while, so maybe that's changed a little bit. Again, Athens in control of that one. A little bit. I'm trying to get this loaded. We had some other scores from a little bit further out of the area. If you do happen to care, Jeremy Allen again posting that Logan got beat by Canal Winchester 21-0. I'm not sure if that's final or not. New Lex was over Meadowbrook 27-13. Coshocton 28. Crooksville 13. Miller 27. Fairfield Christian 14. Sheridan 27. Morgan 9. Those last four were all halftime, according to Jeremy Allen from Perry County.
Yeah, we appreciate those scores whenever we can get them. It's a little tougher to get them up here, so anybody who can help, we like that.
Yeah, so Joe, we have one more thing to hand out here. That's our player of the game here. We've got a little bit of a tough decision here, but we're going to give it to. Well, you're going to have to tune in here. We're going to tease it. We're going to take a quick break. The player of the game coming up here on the other side of the game of the week on 770 AM, 103.9 FM.
Discover your future at Tri-County Career Center, where students earn industry-recognized credentials in fields like nursing, HVAC, networking, and welding. Dive into a learning experience that equips you with the job-focused skills needed to succeed in the workforce, the military, or college. Whether you're eyeing our 2-year programs or adult courses, you too can boost your earning potential. Take the first step today. Call 800-637-6508 or visit us at TriCountyHighTech.com. Tri-County proudly supports all student athletes.
This is XYZ Insurance. How can I help?
I have a question about my home policy.
Okay, question about phone policy.
Home policy.
Okay, gnome policy.
HOME, home.
Technology is great, but sometimes it's better to talk with a real person. With Erie Insurance, you have a caring, independent agent who's with you from beginning to end. Your Erie agent is McFadden Insurance. Get a quote today by calling 753-1905. Go to erieinsurance.com for company licensure and product details.
That man. Call the man. Call the man. Just call the man. Just call the man. You better call that man. Call the man. We'll call the man. Call the man. Why didn't you call the man? I should have called the man like you said.
Call Coach's Appliance Heating and Air to take care of your appliances along with your heating and cooling needs. Call or text Nick today at 740-594-1865. That's 740-594-1865. A family-owned business since 1986. Coach's Appliance Heating and Air. Who can you turn to when you need a general contractor? Choose someone with over 30 years of experience, is licensed and insured. Choose the professionals at J&K Contracting. They're a full-service commercial and residential contractor. From new builds to remodeling, J&K Contracting has you covered from the ground up. Excavating or concrete, roofing or siding, replacement windows or decks, kitchen and bathroom remodels. One call, they really do it all. Call J&K Contracting, 740-698-3521. That's J&K Contracting, 740-698-3521.
Since 1926, Athens Insurance Services has focused on doing one thing and doing it well, providing peace of mind through affordable, comprehensive insurance protection. Whether you're looking for car insurance for your new teenage driver, home insurance for your first home, protection for your business or life insurance, they've got you covered. Representing Central Insurance Company, count on Andrew, Mike, Kendra, Hannah, Chelsea, and Brent. Athens Insurance Services at 375 Richland Avenue. Call 740-593-6639.
There's only one perfect food for watching or listening to sports. Pizza! Get ready for the game by calling one of the 3 locations of Little Italy Pizza in Nelsonville, Gloucester, or New Straitsville. Dough made fresh every day with 3 crusts to choose from, with all the toppings a pizza lover craves. Little Italy Pizza also features mouth-watering subs, sandwiches, salads, and appetizers. Open 7 days a week. Gloucester, New Straitsville, and Nelsonville. Locally owned and operated.
The high school game of the week on 770 WAIS, 103.9 FM, and WAISAMradio.com.
Welcome back to Boston Field here in your post-game show. We did a little bit of recap. We got you some scores. We have one piece of unfinished business, and that's this valuable piece of mail here, I'll call it, because it's in an envelope. That's your Texas Roadhouse Player of the Game, and we've had a tough discussion because Nelsonville-York did it in all facets tonight. They did it across the board. You could have named anybody.
Yeah, and normally we kind of, as most awards do, kind of favor the offense, but we like to try to mix it up. We like to recognize other players who have an impact, and I think this player fits the bill.
Yeah, and look, I'm going to be the one who goes to bat for my lineman every time. And we had an off-air discussion about whether we can give it to Isaac Waller because he's certainly worthy of it.
Yeah.
But we did go with Nelsonville-York, and we did go with a big guy. So, this guy needs to thank me. No. We're giving it to Caleb Layton. Obviously he's a big piece of that puzzle that we talked about for Nelsonville-York. He had a blocked – I don't know if he blocked the punt, but he got the touchdown on a blocked punt. Yeah. Okay. So he got a blocked punt and a scoop and score touchdown. So, Caleb Layton, you have a dinner for 2 at Texas Roadhouse.
Congratulations. So, the final score here, again, 47-0, Nelsonville-York over Alexander, and both teams going on the road next week. Alexander will be going to Loganell, Nelsonville-York at Benton County. Believe that's where we're going to be, but we'll finalize that. And, of course, we'll have the Wild World of Sports on Wednesday where you can hear recaps of all the action of this week and what preview a little bit of next week. But,
yes, so as things stand, we will be in MacArthur. But, again, tune in on Wednesday at 6 o'clock on all of our platforms for the Wild World of Sports. We will confirm that. And you'll also find out where our second team will be. But that's going to do it for us here from Boston Field. And that's New York Buckeyes stay undefeated in conference play with a win over the Alexander Spartans. For Lori Saunders, back at the station, Joe Higgins, I'm Andy Hudnall. And as always, thanks for listening.
Tonight's high school football game on 770 WAIS and 103.9 FM was brought to you by Pidcock Glass, McFadden Insurance, Tinks Auto Trading Post, your local McDonald's, First National Bank, Little Italy Pizza in Nelsonville, Gloucester, New Straitsville, J&K Contracting, Fred Wolf Automotive, Athens Insurance Services, Athens Automotive Keys, Rutland Bottled Gas, Tri-County Career Center, H&R Block, Holzer Health System, and Coach's Appliance Heating and Air. Join us again next time for more exciting high school football action on 770 WAIS Bookville, Nelsonville, and 103.9 FM W280 FC Nelsonville.